Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters here in Katowice in Poland. It's still a little bit of a depressed atmosphere here because VP have just gone out in what was not the nicest of fashions, but we still do have two more amazing games here. We are now into the semi-finals, and I've had lots of tweets coming in, people asking me to ask questions of the teams. For instance, somebody asked me to find out what the Astralis logo means. I haven't managed to speak to any of Astralis yet to find out. Does it mean Danish passion, chasing courage, chasing winning, or is it a bit of clip art? I will endeavor to find that out. If you want me to ask a question of any of the teams who are playing here today, then please do drop me a tweet. You can do that at IEM, hashtag IEM, or tweet me myself. So then, the next game is coming. Astralis, who went 5-0 yesterday, they looked very, very good. Can they beat, well, can they keep on going? To find out, we shall send that over to the big dog, to the Marcus de Sardokist, who's up there.
Thank you so much, OJ. It is a pleasure to be back once again for our first semifinal, which seemingly has less hype and less people on the analyst desk. I think Semler must have disappeared with most of the VP fans, but I am joined by YNK and Anders. It is going to be Luminosity and NaVi, and it's a shame people have decided to leave the arena because this is the best game in CS, the best rivalry in CS, in my opinion.
Are you going to say they'll live to regret it? Is it like a Sadokist curse coming out here?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. They don't want to be Sado-kissed, if you know what I mean. Sado-cursed. Never mind. Talk anytime, YNK.
Do we have a count on how many people have been Sadokist?
Henry G.
Henry, I mean, I knew that. I've even seen that live. It's hard to forget. Really.
Yeah, that's true. I think a few people might have.
Can we not talk about what happens at the after parties, please?
I mean, apparently Zeus likes to post videos, so maybe one day it'll be exposed.
The game.
Yes, the game.
For the love of God, the game.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you that this is probably the best matchup we have right now in CS, but NaVi didn't look, up to their usual standards in the game against Tempo Storm. Now that might be just because it was Tempo Storm. Maybe they underestimated them. They weren't as well prepared for them. They thought it was going to be an easy game or something, right? But if that continues, I think that Luminosity is going to have. They're going to be a favorite in this matchup.
Yeah, and they have closed the gap considerably in terms of head-to-head performances this weekend. Again, beating them quite, I won't say convincingly, but fairly comfortably, I guess is a better word for it.
I mean, if we had to make sort of a tilt scale based on just this event, I think we'd have to put sort of Envy at the absolute top right, and then Virtus Pro fairly close, maybe like a couple of points below. But NaVi, they're up there. They seem like they're tilt heavy right now.
I don't want to be too harsh, but I feel that NaVi is the second place, and that VP is just because VP is just not playing that well in general, right? I don't think that it's tilting so much. It's just that they're still struggling to find their groove, right? To figure out what's this new style they're going for.
What you're saying is, in order to tilt, you kind of have to be high up. Otherwise, the fall is not so much a tilt. You're just like
just a slumber.
You're just getting outplayed in a sense,
being
right?
Pushed over.
You're just losing to a better team, right? That doesn't have much to do with tilting. The way I understand the word tilt is when you either make a bunch of mistakes that lose you the rounds, which makes you go on tilt, right? And then you lose following rounds because you're just in this downward spiral in a sense. I think that's what happened to NaVi in these games against Tempo Storm. So yeah, as I mentioned, that could not happen. That can't happen against Luminosity because they barely scraped through in that game against Tempo Storm. If that happens now against a better team, they're going to get punished for it even more.
The 08 start that the tilting you talk about is case in point on Mirage. That was a fine example. You highlighted at that time too. Yeah. The Lucas round, which really caused some frustration, a 1 versus 4. Yes, he had the rifle, but still was not an advantage situation.
Talking about that, now that is obviously a terrible round to lose, right? It's hard to recover from that. And especially, people would say, even I sometimes say it, you shouldn't let your whole game fall apart because of one single round. No matter how crushing it is, no matter how unfortunate it is, there were so many rounds left to play with, and the game was close in the end. It was 16-13, I think, and they lost a number of rounds after that round because they were so, dismantled by the fact, by the way they lost that one particular round. But you have to understand, at the end of the day, these players are still human beings, right? They're not robots. They get influenced by these mistakes that happen. And when you see someone miss a smoke, that's not the first time that happened. It never happens for the first time in an official game. It probably happened in practice. Some of these mistakes happen very oftenly for some teams, right? So that is what triggers, let's say, in-game leaders when they spend hours and hours figuring out new stuff, and then someone makes a basic mistake which makes their whole strat, their whole game plan fall apart.
Yeah, something that shouldn't be a mistake, something that should be practiced. Do you want to add on that, or do you?
Just in terms of tilting and sort of the impact of a single round, I think this Astralis team back when they were still TSM, I was doing some listening, and we still had sort of listening at events, and it was really obvious that sort of almost no matter what, there we go.
Semler's made it.
It's all the way over here, Semler. You've got to wrap. Oh, grab that one. We're getting our wires crossed, but let's not actually go down that path. So basically, every time that something horrible would happen, no one would sort of, try to pick that round apart on the spot. No one would be like, what went wrong that round? Let's just try and discuss this in the warm-up, in the time to the next round. They'd just be like...
Freeze time, yeah.
Yeah, they just say, all right, we'll take the next round. Just take the next round, come back into it, right? And what I noticed is just I was listening to the sort of the SK lineup with when they had sort of Cillian and Freeze and everyone together like that. And they would try and discuss individual rounds. They'd try and see if they could do that. And that doesn't work very well.
Never works.
And instead people end up sort of arguing each other because you have different points of views, and someone says, actually, I think you're wrong. And then suddenly you're not talking about the next round, so you lose that one too.
And that's exactly the point, right? When you're playing in a tournament, it doesn't matter who's right or wrong. The round is over.
Yeah.
You lost it. You can't go back in time, right? So you should just try and focus on the next round. Focus on the grind. Try to come back into it. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is whether you won or lost.
Do you think that GB James is listening to this segment right now?
Jesus, I hope not.
He might need to, take note.
One thing I do want to... I guess welcome to the desk. What are your initial thoughts? I want to get into one point, though.
Welcome.
In the group stage, Nico was top in 6 out of 8 categories. He was only behind Fur in one of them by 0.01, but Fur did top the group in overall rating. He's been the guy leading the charge for Luminosity so far.
Yes. And well, it's just a role reversal. This is what happens with Luminosity and with basically top-tier teams, the teams that are sitting at the top of the pack right now in the top 5 of the world, is that at any moment anybody can step up and really carry, and it's not really just like one guy who's like a superstar, right? Because for a while there was Cold on Luminosity who was doing all the work. He was taking that star role, and you saw Fur, who was kind of struggling a little bit, trying to find himself in his game, definitely having trouble. Now all of a sudden it's like Cold, he takes a little bit of a step back, but then Fur, it's just like they just change it up. As long as the frags are happening, it doesn't really matter for Luminosity. They're winning.
I also have a feeling right now when you have to talk about a certain lineup from these tier 1 teams, it's absolutely futile trying to introduce each player individually, because the sentence for everyone is they can also step up at any point of the game and, carry the game to a set.
Right.
It sounds like we're repeating ourselves, but that is the case, because not every situation is the same. You can say, oh, maybe Taco he's always the entry fragger, so sometimes he's not going to have as many frags and so on. But that's not always the case. He is the entry fragger in set strats, but if they're playing a default, and they want to go to an execute out of a default, he can be the last guy coming into a bomb site. So.
Yeah, if he's the rotation player. The one guy I will say, and it's pointless to go through every single player, the one guy that I've been impressed with as well in terms of stepping up is a player that's kind of been look, every team's got one, the scapegoat right now, and that's Taco. I think he's had a very good group stage as well. Absolutely. I thought he was very consistent.
And this also comes down to, I think Fallen and Zeus, that combo, figuring out, or realizing maybe something needs to be tweaked here. Maybe it's not quite right. Taco's not performing at the level that, we know that he can, right? Because they're not bringing him onto they're not bringing him onto the team to just soak bullets. That's not his job, to get in there, die, and then give info. If a slight adjustment in the positioning needs to happen, they're going to make it. And we've already seen that happen where now Taco isn't necessarily entering on all the rounds and on all the maps. Maybe he's playing more of a lurk role on something. We saw that on Mirage yesterday, the day before now, in the groups. All of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, Taco isn't always the first one running in. Maybe, it's somebody else on the roster. So it just seems like Taco's much more comfortable in this new role that they found.
Yeah, to expand on your point, that's exactly what I was talking about. That okay, in strategies, in a set piece, so to speak, he will be the first guy in, because he's comfortable with it. He's not afraid. Similar as people reference with Freakazoid, he doesn't care if he dies as long as he does his job. But sometimes it's just a different type of a strategy where everyone has the spot they like to play in, and depending on what the in-game leader calls, he might be the first guy in, he might be the last guy in. It will depend on the situation.
And this is is the evolution of Fallen as an in-game leader as well, because he realized, he said this in multiple interviews now, where DreamHack Winter was, well, to face it, obviously, like the finals that happened at DreamHack Winter was this eye-opening experience for him, because he realized, wait a second, on my team now, I don't have to micromanage everything. I've got guys who are capable of thinking for themselves, of taking control of situations for themselves. I don't have to be the one to actually, set everything in this rigid structure. We can actually have a bit more of a free-flowing approach to the game.
I mean, just to add to sort of a list of things that sort of stack against NaVi here, not just the fact that all of LG seem to be, very, very good at the game, also that NaVi are a little bit on tilt. There's also the fact that it seems like Luminosity almost rarely play the same team twice without improving just drastically on the second time around. They're so good at picking up every mistake. And NaVi should be very scared just for that fact alone.
Well, and not only that, I mean, NaVi has been struggling in rounds with execute. We talk about this being the two best execution tactical teams. NaVi's been running out of time on rounds this weekend, whereas Luminosity's been picking up the pace and looking more on form. We'll get back to that point in just a second. I do want to look. We've got some NaVi footage that we want to go over to make sure we do get into the fine details of their team coming into this semifinal.
Hello? Are we live?
I don't know.
Is this live?
I lost the producer in my ear
Don't say
halfway through the
anything.
segment. Twitch chat, I love you.
It almost feels like we have to whisper in this big room now.
Oh, okay. I guess we can talk over. I didn't hear the producer at all in this segment. But there we go. So, I mean, look, they've had a pretty, again, we've kind of been touching on it already.
I don't think the audience realized how lucky it was that we didn't say anything more obnoxious in the segment.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
We've learned now, this is the first we've
After
learned
that
now.
experience on day one.
That was
Yeah.
potentially a career ruining.
The first
Yeah,
10,
that could have been
first
bad.
10 things I say when we're off, I just keep saying I love ESL.
I know, right?
Exactly.
That's the save. That's the save.
And then
the
they just
safe
roll
word.
up the Benjamins and stuck them in behind that nice pocket
Yeah.
square you're wearing.
Yeah, but also, I mean, I kind of,
That happens anyway, Sato.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, right?
I said that these are probably my two favorite teams to watch, so obviously I analyze them a bit more in depth, right? And what Luminosity is extremely good at, especially against a team like NaVi, who likes to run a lot of defaults on their T sides, right? Luminosity is really good at figuring out what their default is, what's their holding pattern, right? And then also, thinking of a good plan, a good strategy to counter that, right? On train, you would see them push aggressively into Ivy with an AWP, sometimes towards B, even go with a double AWP setup with Cold Zero and Fallen. And, the last times these two teams met was at the DreamHack Leipzig, the grand finals. NaVi won on overtime on both train and Cobble, but it was an extremely close and exciting game.
Well, you said the last time they met, that just goes to show how much closer they have been getting, because it was like an 8-0 scoreline for a while, starting at Cluj. Different roster, sure, for Luminosity, but it's been getting closer and closer and closer ever since.
I'm just, now that we're stacking up reasons why Luminosity might be doing very well in this best of three, we should try and come out, I think, with at least a couple of reasons why NaVi might. And I think Guardian had a bit of a strange showing earlier in this tournament.
That was off.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, he seems to be the sort of person, I think, who takes that very personally and very seriously. So, it will, I think, have an impact on the match if Guardian says, I wasn't there and I'm here now and I'm going to show up. And I think if that doesn't happen, on the other hand, it'll be awful. But I mean, I think the fact that now that sort of the Guardian had a worse performance earlier, could be a bit of a wake-up call as well.
I think there's also, it seems to me like NaVi right now are experiencing what Envy are experiencing, which is a little bit of friction in the team. Similar to VP, there can be some bickering there, and that it won't help you win a tournament, right? If you guys are constantly arguing amongst yourselves, you need to get on the same page. And one way that they do tend to get on the same page is by Guardian just hard carrying, because then everything is great. It's rosy. Oh, Guardian's doing all the work for us, guys. Hey, let's go. Free paycheck, because Guardian is a generous god. That's the thing, right? It's just like if Guardian shows up, then NaVi, they have a chance. If he doesn't, if he struggles again, I mean, look at what happened with Tempestorm. NaVi nearly, bottomed out against them. That would have been a horrendous result for NaVi. Now NaVi, at least, they make top 4. It's acceptable, but they're fully capable of making it past Luminosity. I just don't think that Fallen is going to let it happen.
Well, not easily, that's for sure. We can see the teams now just getting ready backstage. We will come back to this discussion with the maps in hand as well, because this map pool we know has been kind of consistent through these two teams. But that said, let's hand it over to the stage. Chobra, please introduce these two lovely teams.
We're here for the first semifinal. We started the playoffs this morning, and as we continue, there are now only 4 teams left eyeing the trophy for the Intel Extreme Masters. Our first team, talk about improvement. This team came out, continued to grind away, surprising fans around the world time after time until now it is not a surprise that they are a top team, considered the top 4, but now possibly even being considered for a world contender. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Luminosity! And their opponents, they're coming off of a tooth and nail battle against Tempo Storm, but they have to face the fire of Brazilian CSGO once again. Will this team this time be able to reach for the trophy? Introducing NaVi! Will it be NaVi setting a new record for themselves here in the Spodek, or will it be Luminosity bringing Brazilian CSGO to the finals? It's time to find out in the semifinals of the World Championship.
Well, their Brazilian brothers gave them a run this morning, and it's, of course, NaVi, and it was a lot closer than I think anyone expected. Not once this weekend did any of our analysts expect Tempo Storm to be the favorite in any particular game. However, NaVi, they've already knocked off one said Brazilian team. They now face the other. Is it possible that they can do it twice in a row?
It's definitely possible, but as I mentioned before, they need to, step up their game, right? Because against Tempo Storm, it was really close. It came down to a couple of rounds only, and I think if they continue the same way, Luminosity is going to punish them even more.
And map pool, we don't yet know, but it's going to be coming up momentarily. Just general thoughts, though, again, with the strategy of these two teams.
See, I'm wondering how deep we should go with this, because we know Fallen was already talking to Tempo Storm, probably helping out with some tactics. That also means that Fallen has essentially sort of got almost a lot of petri dish to test out how NaVi react to those things. He saw the game, he knows it now. If they run the same or adjust the strat just with better players, how are NaVi going to react to that? That's actually really tough to deal with, isn't it? You get to sort of test out how this works with slightly worse players, and then you got your own sort of absolute star lineup, and I think this is going to be really rough for NaVi, is what I'm trying to say.
So, I was just going to say, maps did just come in. Just quickly, if you want to finish.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, the bans are pretty straightforward for these teams. Luminosity Vito's Dust 2, NaVi Vito's Cash. Now, last time, they played Train and Cobble as the first 2 maps. Luminosity picked Train, NaVi picked Cobble. Now it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to switch it up, right? Because what I said for Tempo Storm, that it would be a good call for them to maybe pick Inferno, because it's a map that NaVi is not really comfortable on. They can play it, but would rather avoid it if possible.
Well, we do have a bit of a change, and not to mention Mirage has also been a battleground for these two teams in the past. They have similar styles, but it's Overpass first, Inferno second, and if needed, we do go to that Cobblestone matchup that has also been quite fruitful, I guess, from a spectating experience in the past. Semler, Overpass first. This is, we saw NaVi on it today. It wasn't the most impressive NaVi we've ever seen on it, but at the same time, Luminosity, North American success has been good. International, it's also been a shaky map for them.
Yeah, it's not a clear-cut sort of situation, but Fallen isn't the kind of leader who's just going to sit by and let an opportunity like that pass where, hey, I get to actually see how you're going to play against a team that has a similar style to us. great, you know. This is almost like a trailer to a movie, you know, and especially a modern trailer these days where they literally just show you all of the movie, and so there's no point to actually go and see the movie anymore, right? Because you just get everything from the trailer.
I have that problem.
I hate that too. That's why I stopped watching trailers. Period. But
I stopped watching movies. But
well, I mean,
Henry
Fallen,
G never watched them to begin with, so it's fine.
Sure, I don't understand that. But Fallen is the kind of guy who's actually just going to pick up all of that and run with it. I mean, him and Tempo Storm, we know that Fallen's very deeply involved with Tempo Storm as well and how they set things up. He's constantly, this is how Tempo Storm have improved so rapidly, is because whatever Fallen learns with Luminosity, he's passing that off to Tempo Storm. And so you're absolutely right to say it's like, okay, Tempo Storm were like the little brother. Now the big brother's here to play, and he's going to beat you up because you just picked on him, right? So I'm not feeling too good for NaVi.
My big brother never did that for me.
Oh.
Did your brother? My brother never. My brother was the guy that I threw.
that explains a lot. Maybe he should have said it.
No, see, we were playing outside one time, and he threw a knife and tried to be tough and throw it into the ground. He hit the neighbor's house and broke the siding, and I was the guy that stood outside and said, I did it.
Get out.
What a man.
I think I was just used to being blamed for everything.
What a
so I was
hero.
like, all right, I'll just continue on this track. Thanks,
The
man.
hero we all need, but don't
Thanks,
deserve.
man. I thank you. You're right. Gotham does not deserve me.
I mean, looking at the map, first map is Overpass.
Glad he brought us back on track.
Right? Luminosity doesn't play it that often, but interestingly enough, when they play it, they're really good on it. They beat Astralis on it at DreamHack Leipzig. Astralis, who is arguably one of the best teams on Overpass, right? But it was a weird game then. Astralis losing a lot of anti-force buy rounds, you know, when Luminosity had CZs, scouts, and so on. But as I said, that was the last time we saw Luminosity at the LAN. It was almost a month ago at DreamHack Leipzig. So they did have a lot of time to implement new things. So maybe Overpass is a pocket pick for them.
I mean, it is possible that it's something that they want to try and implement. Again, they shied away. Mirage would have been an option. They shied away from that. We didn't see who banned it, but I mean, that's one that you would expect. This Overpass is quite a bit different for them to bring in this early in the pool.
I mean, if you talk about sort of the tactical strength of Luminosity, and Overpass should be a map that plays right into that. It's a map that has so many openings. I don't think people realize how little has sort of been made in terms of progress on Overpass. It's still sort of very much the same game that people are playing. Not that many big changes. I think especially the CT side, teams sort of tend to play very, very sort of static style. I think T-side now, people have realized this. As soon as they have restrooms control, they can rotate back and forth through connector down towards B, and you can throw some pretty good fakes. And generally, you just have very limited information for the CT side. So there's some options there. So it should be a map, I think, that plays right into the sort of style that LG want to play anyway.
Do you think this is potentially one of the maps that was most affected by the extra 10 seconds, where there is such a long rotation time, it now becomes more viable to run those fakes?
Yeah, I think it helps. Like maps like Inferno and Overpass, I think are maps where you get that extra time definitely will help out. I think, and I mean even on Overpass, the extra bomb time is hard. It's so hard to retake on Overpass especially if you're a man down or something like that. I think it shouldn't be that hard for Fallen to sit down and come up with some cool stuff on this. In fact, they already have. I mean, just some of the eco rounds they run on this, on the CT side, they'll stack 4 or 5 people towards restrooms with only one person peeking. But as soon as that guy sees someone, they pop out a flashbang and everyone peeks at the same time, and they win rounds based on stuff like that. We already know they're a creative team on this map.
It's just I think what this boils down to is that NaVi wouldn't be here right now if they had played against Luminosity in the quarterfinals. Because Tempo Storm, they played sick fundamental CS, great utility of their nades, working well together on entries, trading frags. It was just basically very, very solid fundamental CS, and NaVi kept getting wrecked by it.
Yeah.
They just didn't have the experience to close out a game and on a stage in a best-of-3 format versus a top-tier team, right? It's just, you could tell that they were running through, but as soon as it got tough, then all of a sudden the doubt starts to set in and it gets nasty, and then NaVi take advantage of that, and you see them lose the control of the situation. Luminosity, they also run sick fundamental CS, and they just grind you out or just blow you up like TNT with cold or fur. But they have the experience now in this kind of situation, and they're hungry for revenge against NaVi. So NaVi are not going to get an easy time here versus Luminosity.
Well, let's get into it then. Let's get predictions on the line. We'll come back obviously and discuss each map because they're all favorable for either side. But where do we actually think they sit in this particular tournament? Semler, I guess you're first.
Are you going to throw me under the bus first?
I got you back to you if you
so
like.
I'm going to go like this. If NaVi shows up, if they don't play like they did against Tempo Storm, I expect a close matchup, maybe even all 3 maps, but I'm still sticking to Luminosity.
Yeah.
If NaVi doesn't, show up in this game, if they play in a similar way like they did against Tempo Storm, it's going to be 2-0 for Luminosity.
All right. Thoughts from you, Anders?
I mean, I'm gonna have to get on the Yanko train here. I think that's pretty accurate. I think 2-0 for Luminosity if NaVi played the way they did earlier. If not, 2-1 for Luminosity.
You guys kind of have to pick one, so I'm gonna throw you under the bus and say 2-0 Lumi, because that's where I sit on this one. But where do you sit, Semler?
Yeah, I'm with you, Sato.
Yeah, you think so?
Damn.
Brazilians in the final?
It's like Guardian, I don't know if he's going to be enough to deal with it. Fallen can be really good at canceling out Guardian once he gets on his game. And then it just didn't really feel like, it felt really disjointed on NaVi's side. NaVi, they need to pray that Flamey and Guardian show up, basically. And Flamey's been playing well, but Guardian had a horrible series. So you have to get both of them going if they're going to shut down Luminosity, I think.
Well, it's a fine task to try and achieve. It is going to be an excellent matchup. It always is when these two teams play. The semifinals, is it going to be a Brazilian team, or will the Ukrainians finally make it to the big stage in Katowice? To find out, it's going to be Henry and the Machine.
It's time then. Semi-final number 1 starts now. The guys have set the scene so very beautifully. I'm joined by Henry.
You are.
And it's a pleasure to be next to you. It's a pleasure to be sitting in this chair. And I mean, when we have what could very well be one of the longest best of threes, if NaVi come out to play, that's definitely been the kind of the overarching story of this, is the Natus Vincere versus Tempo was not a team that's capable of beating this Brazilian side.
It's one of the all-time great games in Counter-Strike we have in today's game. It's such a pleasure to watch, and I can't wait to see the way this unfolds. I think the guys are right on the desk. Luminosity definitely have the upper hand. What we've seen from NaVi today wasn't very impressive. We have to say that they obviously come out on top of Tempo Storm, but that's a team they should be beating hands down. Guardian not really showing up today. They had to rely on Seized and Zeus, especially on Mirage there. He was one of the players we don't normally tend to see stepping up to that kind of degree, but like we said, when they absolutely have to, they've got nothing left, he's going to be the guy that won't let them go down without a fight. So it's going to be an exciting scene here. We go obviously opening up here with Overpass, which we saw them play it against Tempo Storm.
Yes, we did. And we also saw them play Cobble as well, which is in the map pool. So only Inferno, the only deviation. And I think while this knife round does kind of transpire, I do want to raise that point that Anders raised so beautifully. It was something I was kind of racking around my head around as well.
Yeah.
That Fallen has basically had the opportunity to not only mentor Tempo Storm, but also 2 of the 3 maps he's about to play against, he was sitting behind, coaching, mentoring, and giving Tempo a bit of a framework for these 2
basically
maps.
just thrown a dummy in there and said, all right, how does this get on?
Yeah.
How does this one get on? And then I can kind of take all the notes away from my own team. It would have been so sick to see the Brazilians go at it in the semi-final. They came so close as well. Overtime on Cobble and taking it. It was a very close game in the final map as well. But it looks like Luminosity will be taking the knife round here, and we should be getting straight into this one. We still do have a fairly decent crowd here as well. Not quite as big as what we had for Virtus Pro, but
yeah,
still going to make some noise.
Something about a Polish CS team on a Polish stage in Poland. Something about that definitely causing the numbers to deplete somewhat, but they are here and still cheering for.
We're going to have some noise. We're going to try.
Everyone. We could have one person in this crowd and they would be making noise. This is just Katowice all over. And we are going to be just seeing this team talk down go on. They did get the choice of side. And they are going to be having 2 very different styles of team huddle. LG, just such a passionate team.
Yeah, they're like a family, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to be working together and making sure they have that passion and that brotherhood coming in together and making sure they do this together. You can see, like you said, huddle on the right, just completely locked into the matrix on the left. Just want to be calm and collected, go into this one, get the job done. They haven't had a great showing here today, but they have made it to the semi-finals.
And you can see it on their screens. NaVi is sitting there stabbing the AFK Brazilians in the back while they have their team huddle. They're not even eyes are away from the game. Their focus is on them and them alone.
Indeed.
And I mean, I think now would be a perfect time to address the similar styles. I mean, this is something that's going to be so discussed throughout this best of 3 series.
Both very slow and methodical teams.
Right.
Getting map control first, relying on their big players. In NaVi's case, is Guardian, and obviously in the other side of the pitch, we've got Fallen as well. But if you're talking, you want to go further down the panel, coldzera, one of the most biggest breakout performances we've seen in Counter-Strike Go in 2015. One of the most exciting players in the game right now. Unbelievably talented player. And it looks like are we starting? No, we're not. We're still, it's fine. I was about
Stop
to
getting me
start, I started
excited.
to get the hype going. But yeah, this is just so much talent on the server right now. Very similar play styles. And it goes right down to the wire every single time we see these guys play. We saw it in the final with DreamHack Leipzig. Went overtime on both maps as well. We were desperate for the third, but it was NaVi that came out on top. And I expect to see more of the same here. I just hope NaVi and Guardian especially step up to the occasion.
I think we're all hoping that we do get to see a real spectacle. I mean, we were teased by Leipzig. I mean, getting to see 2 overtimes in a best of 3, both though going in the end the way of Natus Vincere. And we do prepare ourselves then. The seats are being taken by Luminosity. They've had their huddle and they are prepared to dive into just the first map in this best of 3.
Let's ask you a question.
Hit me.
Where do you see this one going? If you're gonna,
Okay.
let's just stick with this map first. Like, how do you feel it's going to go?
So Overpass, I do want to like raise the issue that we've already seen Overpass. Fallen was sitting there watching how Natus. I need to stop giving them their full name. How NaVi. There we go.
NaVi, yes, fine.
Let's drop that
That
down.
works.
He got an opportunity to see everything that NaVi were planning on bringing into Overpass, and that wasn't too long ago. Like, that was earlier today, a few hours past. It wasn't as long as it could have been during that Fnatic VP matchup, but we don't need to talk about too much about that one.
True.
But I mean, they've seen NaVi's playbook. They know it already, but Fallen's had a lot of those answers, or those questions he may have had coming into this matchup answered by that matchup of Tempo Storm. And to me, I mean, I have to lean towards the Brazilians in this matchup, but also in this map. And we are going to be seeing a very kind of, you can't see it yet, but a very, very familiar sight for this pistol round. It feels very much exactly what we saw from TS.
What's going on right now?
What did I miss?
They were passing a miscellaneous can down the row of players. I wasn't sure what was going on there.
They were just making sure it wasn't for the commercials.
Yeah, I guess so. Bit of value in there. But I think the players are ready. There is a pause coming in right now. I guess they're just finalizing the last bits and pieces here.
Yeah.
This is the third game of the day. We have one more to bring you, another best of 3. So it's been an action-packed day of Counter-Strike so far.
I mean, yeah, Fnatic Astralis round the corner. You just go from like awesome to awesome at this point in time. 2 huge games of CS, 2 kind of figureheads and clashing twice in a row. First Luminosity versus NaVi, a team that have only grown in the last 6 months, consistently rising through the ranks and exceeding people's expectations to the point now where their expectations couldn't get much higher. Everybody expecting huge stuff from LG, of course, after that fleeting performance in San Jose, deciding to make that roster swap. And it's kind of crazy. I was having a conversation. I remember just bumping into Fallen, patting him on the back and saying, you know, at the after party of San Jose, how's it going, dude? What's happening? He was like, roster swaps tomorrow, going to be announced.
Wow.
And I was like,
He told you that?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, he
The biggest
was
gossip in esports?
Oh, yeah, because I had like 5 minutes to tweet that out before it was actually announced. But technically I knew. But yeah, he had a real game plan. And ever since the arrival of FNX and Taco, we have seen some great things. And I really want to address FNX as well. What an outstanding performance from him yesterday. 230 bombs, back-to-back. And it looks like we're here. It looks like it's time for the pistol, Henry.
We've still got some crowd here. Let's go. Okay, NaVi starting on the T side here. 4 sets of armor. 1 smoke on towards C's as well. Much faster strategy coming in this time. Going straight for that mid control, splitting the bathrooms as well. We'll see whether Fallen can do anything about this. Has spotted 2 players here, continuing to face, but he's got a problem. There's players coming in from the bathrooms as well. It's going to be Cold Zera to take down Flamey to open things up here, but the aggression coming for NaVi continues.
Very aggressive stuff from NaVi, and they are not stopping here. Guardians leveled it out somewhat. There is a Tech 9 from Edward, and there was a Tech 9 from Edward because Fallen's already taken him clean out of this one. Not forgetting there is that double kit from LG. That's 2 non-armored defensive players. And keep your eyes on C's. Keep your eyes on that bomb icon because he has got other plans, and Guardian is selling this one relatively well.
This is the thing. They've obviously lost the man advantage here. It's pretty likely they're going to lose the round, so they're just trying to rotate over. They've got low HP players, get the bomb down, at least guarantee something to work with next round. But it's still, this is winnable. As I say that, though, C's is the one player that's dropped, and now we just have Zeus on the long rotate here, and actually doesn't have any footing to this whatsoever. So he's going to be falling back and keeping the Tech 9.
I have to ask you this question quickly.
Go on.
This happened before. NaVi got the bomb down first round and chose to go for a very offensive kind of weird AK buy into the second.
They've saved the Tech 9.
What do we think?
It's got head armor. I would say no. I'd say to stick to the pistols and go with that mentality. Have the grenades, have the pistols to work with. It's a very execution-based map. And we'll have a look at what they do come in with. They have got a scout on towards Seized. Guardian coming with that Desert Eagle and head armor as well. But yeah, no AKs this time. Just the scout coming in. We'll have a look at the buy for Luminosity as well. They're actually preparing themselves for some similar sort of outcome here. So 4 rifles and a scout themselves. This time going to have Pharmacists and M4s. A couple of kits as well. With Edward hunting for that first kill to kick things off.
Yeah, it's just going to be
Their primary purpose is to take something away from LG early, but they're not falling for those games. They're not going to overextend. Something you do see later on into the full buys, an aggressive CT presence towards toilets, towards long, but this time LG are not going to give NaVi an inch. You can see this. Look at this passive hold. You've got not only the boost, but Fallen prepared with the scout. He's going to catch a glimpse of one, ready for the repeak. He knows there's only potentially a scout, maybe a deagle, going to be fighting back. He's willing to take that risk. Potential jump shot, but he takes the head off Guardian. That's huge. Guardian gone already, and Fallen hasn't had to pay a penny for it.
He's got the boost in front of him as well, covering from short as well, and the bathrooms area. So they're going to be dropping off now. They have got that man advantage, but now we need to see how NaVi react. They've got control of long. They're going to be trying to split this A bomb site. They still have a couple of smokes remaining. That's the first one dropped on the site. Oh. It's a good retaliation coming in from Fur. He wants to get this kill, and that's the bomb dropped as well. Fantastic play from him. So much information gathered. They can do the full rotation now on Cold's Error, taking down Seized, and it's going to be an absolute bloodbath here. Just Flamey remains, and he is dropped in the end as well. So as soon as LG saw some sort of execution coming in, they just push aggressively and take the bomb down, and that's the round over.
I loved that from LG. So passive, and then as soon as they have that advantage, the upper hand, they just start pushing together as a unit. I love the very methodical way FNX ripped apart that stack from the T's towards toilets. Just a little tag, a nade, finish the job eventually with the FAMAS. And that's going to be 2 then for Luminosity. NaVi going to be bringing very little into this round, and I will remind you that they did blow our minds with something even less than this, in fact, and picking up a round against the other Brazilian side here in Katowice. Luminosity, though, surely not going to be falling for anything. Colzera already has beheaded Edward, and now NaVi have to try and make something out of nothing.
This is it. They couldn't really justify buying much more than PT50, so obviously not getting the plant down or many kills. Doesn't leave them with many options, but they do lose the first player here. Edward drops first, and FNX spotting a couple of players. They're doing decent damage with his utility as well. Should be able to find us. Got to say, find the second kill where Flamey stepping up, takes him down. An opportunity to maybe get the bomb planted here, but it's going to be Fur that takes away that risk, as they do have a fairly successful cleanup there. 3-0 in favor of Luminosity now, and this is where things get interesting. Of course, we can see Guardian without the AWP. This is a continued theme. We talk about this with NaVi all the time. The force buys are not allowing him to get onto that orb, but it has to be said, it's not like he's hit those godlike levels today.
And it's a really interesting discussion, because you could basically just have one unkevlar Guardian and everything's all your problems are solved.
Sure.
Instead, though, he sticks with that kind of deagle and full Kevlar buy and comes back to haunt them as we do go into that 4th round. No AWP for the T side. There is a AWP present in the hands of Fallen, though, and this is what we were talking about, that much more aggressive CT hold. 2 of them trying to gain some connector information, and Fallen's actually going to do much more than just information. He's going to potentially take down at least one member of NaVi here if they do choose to push towards party. However, there is a huge presence towards long, Henry, and I can't quite see how and when LG are going to catch on to this.
This is the thing, they've actually got all of the long control, actually got all the way to the end right now.
Wow.
Like you said, there is no presence there from the CTs whatsoever. It's going to be Fallen getting back to the APC right now and seeing if he can do anything to rectify this. He's got to be smoked out, so that's taken away his vision at least. He's trying to work out what's going on here. We still have 2 CTs towards the connector right now, so Zeus needs to be careful from his back, but so far it looks like Luminosity are just starting to rotate through the B bomb site and make their way back towards A.
And it does look like they've got the right call made, whether it's in the nick of time. I think, yep, Fallen's going to have made that call. 50 seconds. Plenty of time for NaVi to take their time with this one. The Molly's going to be cooking for their life. He has to move, but he can't. He didn't want to overextend, and it cost him his life as Seized Molotov does all of the necessary work to basically, that's an entry Molly at that point in time. The bomb's going to go down, and you know, you heard it from Anders himself on the desk. Retaking on Overpass truly can be so tough, especially at disadvantage. And look at this, they're going to catch a glimpse of that boost. Cold does get tagged up, but not fragged up just yet. Flamey, though, onto FNX. And just with 3 remaining LG, I think they're going to hedge their bets and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, that's a save all day long. It's a very nice play there from NaVi coming in. They get that long control, take advantage of it. They realize Fallen is towards middle, so they took their chances, went up towards long, and getting those smokes down towards the bank and the CD spawn, and that Molotov onto the site. We didn't see it from Fallen's point of view to initially kick it off, but I assume he was flashed to fall back to the side and is standing in it, and then he just didn't really want to face and get taken down. He wanted to burn in the flames, apparently.
Yeah, so you said they knew Fallen was towards toilets. Did he fire a shot?
Yeah, I think he did. So he must have...
Because that was a lot of, I'd assume a lot of guesswork otherwise, because they had just walked up long quite quickly.
Well, the fact that they spotted it at the start of the round as well, no one's firing at you, I guess that's enough to kind of just justify where you're going to be going forward in that situation. But it's going to be NaVi getting their first round on the board right now. 3 plays 1. There is a buy still coming in for Luminosity here. Fallen still on the AWP. It's Taco that's been affected the most. He's going to be on the CZ as we enter round number 5 here. You can see NaVi just holding up Guardian in towards that connector area with the AWP, just seeing if anyone's going to be facing him this time. But it's actually more of a B mentality coming in from LG this time.
Hey, dude, don't go judging Taco CZ. Did you see Flusher? Did you see what was going on there?
I did see that.
Don't forget. Taco, however, is not Flusher. Let's see how this one's going to go down. Definitely much more of the standard Sincere pace. Very, very slow and steady. Guardian's actually relatively pushed up here. With the door closing, he's at least indicated his positioning. The bomb is still right back, basically towards that T-spawn.
Oh, we have got Cold Zero to push right off towards short as well, making his way towards the door. And that's so much information gathered. He's going to be smoking off key areas as well. So you can see Luminosity can justify 3 players towards A, and that helps as well. Fallen does take down Guardian. A huge scalp to take, and all the remaining players for NaVi now all stuck towards middle. Still have time to work with, but we saw it time and time again against Tempo Storm. Just running that clock down, not really having much to work with afterwards.
Oh, and this is so aggressive from Fer. I don't think he's going to expect the other ears and Zeus there to trade. That's huge and necessary from NaVi at this point in time. And talking of time, 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is the thing. That actual smoke that Fer dropped before he went down was so perfect in that situation. We still have Cold Zero pushed up. We saw this position work out so perfectly before, but 20 seconds now. What are the options here for NaVi? Need to try and plant on his A bomb site. It's C's coming in with the AWP. Will be Molotoving onto the side, but we've got so many players waiting for them. I just don't see how this is going to work out.
I mean, 10 seconds. Surely you pull the plug. Get out of there. FNX does take down C's. And actually, Zeus is going to be the one turning tail and run, but Edward's just got 2, making things very expensive. And eventually he does go down cold. So persistent towards Connector. He did not move a muscle for a good 30 seconds and then comes around and sweeps the remaining NaVi players under the rug.
As soon as he gets to that position there, like I said, they can just justify keeping 3 players towards A. Quite a passive mentality as well. They found that first pick from Fallen, and that means they don't really have to work too hard for the frags like that. They've got Cold Zero pushed up. They've got 3 players on this site. They know they've probably bled out on that as Vince's actual utility at that stage. And this is an interesting buy. NaVi, who have been reset in this instance, but they will be force buying into it. Guardian does have the AWP still, and there's going to be 2 players on Tech 9s, but look at the distinct lack of utility going forward. We have got more of an aggressive mentality coming in from Luminosity as well. It's FNX going in first towards long, and there are going to be players waiting for him now.
Would it be safe to say that the A site kind of lends itself more to a more successful round with this limited utility?
If you had 2 smokes, I would say it's not quite enough to actually do a full execution. You could get 2 areas like sectioned off, but there would still be gaps in it. It wouldn't be a perfect execution. They need to find a pick first, ideally, and that's what they've got Guardian for, just slowly but surely giving him map control and giving him an opportunity to work this.
And talking of map control, look at this. From not looking at long at all to taking 3 members there, but Fallen's already taken Guardian down. Again, this is becoming an all too familiar situation for NaVi, as that's the 3rd time now Fallen has won out on that one. We saw Henny doing it, and now Fallen does too.
Henny rocked Guardian's world earlier. It was actually kind of disgusting how many picks he was getting on him consistently, especially on this map as well. And it's continuing now. Guardian 1 for 5 as he's dropped once again, and Fallen not done quite yet. He lands the shot onto C's, doesn't kill him though, and Taco taking him down. It's going to be a reply though, as it goes into a 3-on-3. Flamey and Zeus finding kills now.
And those are the picks you were asking for. That bomb can go down relatively safely, and still none of that utility that Zeus invested in. And 1 flash, I think, has been used. He's got all of that for the afterplant situation. He can save that Molotov. That Molotov can do a world of good, and that's going to be forcing Cold Zero to make a decision. That decision is peek or die. He goes for the peek, and that's going to be surely Zeus greeting him. Doesn't quite hit the AWP shot. Flamey, in the meantime, did catch FNX, a very influential player alongside Fer, and there you go. That's going to be a big round. And 2 players from NaVi you don't so often see with that AWP are going to be picking it up, and they have 2 AWPs to work with on this T side. That's going to go towards C's, and I'm intrigued to see where they do take this.
Interesting round. That's Fallen picking up the first kill and getting a leg shot onto C's as well. Somehow he gets taken down. It's a very fast B attack coming in at that stage. And LG now have actually been broken at this point as well. You can see that money has been gone right down to nothing. They've got CZs, P250s, and some USPs. No utility, no kits, no armor. So you'd assume this is a chance for NaVi now to get back into this one. MG going to be pushing up towards middle. Edward does find that first kill, and that's going to be time now for NaVi just to slow things down. They've got the man advantage. See whether there is any more players hanging out towards this mid area, but Edward just making sure it's absolutely fine. But if you remember, against Tempo Storm, they struggled in these rounds. They kept going into bathrooms 1 by 1 and actually losing those kills to P250s. And it seems like they're kind of rectifying that now, making sure they keep that buddy system going and not allowing the CTs to find a pick and then fall back.
Yeah, lessons have definitely been learned after that Tempo Storm game. If you did miss it, a full 3 maps, right down to the wire, even on the 3rd map, Mirage. Eventually NaVi taking it. Now LG.
There it is.
This is what we were talking about, and Fulham's got himself a weapon and a big kill onto Edward. It is just a little bit of a step in the right direction, though. And you can't help but wonder what Taco and Fer are going to do, because they are on the flank. I do want to get myself a little
Don't want to get too excited, but first just taking down Guardian again. Fallen's actually potentially going to win out on this one. Zeus, still 70 points of health. He is going to get hunted down. Tech 9 from Zeus was enough. Didn't even need to use that AK. But LG have done a huge amount of damage. I think this surely is going to be enough. Yep, Flamey and Zeus do wrap things up, but not without a couple of concerns raised for Navi.
Same things again. As soon as I said it, oh, it looks like they're using the buddy system. They're going to be refragging all over the place. It's Edward once again walking into the bathroom areas. Fallen takes him down. And once he picked up that AK, that could have gone either way. Had he found one more kill with that gun, who knows what could have gone down there. And LG still pretty much on a hard reset. They're going to be in the third stage of lost bonus next round. So 3K in the bank right now. This is going to take some upgraded pistols once again, and it should be Navi coming in to level things up at 4-4. They have the orb back on towards Guardian as well, and we'll see if he's picked up his game. He's stood on 1 for 6. He seems to be trying to find some form still as we enter round number 8.
Just keeping my eye on that smoke from Farron. Half health Cold Zera does have Kevlar, the only one of its kind for LG. And there he goes. He's actually taken Zeus down in that close quarters connector. Such a scary place to push, even against the CZ. And Fallen back turned and body dropped. He's gone, and Na'Vi are going to try and make this as economical as possible. And you can't help but feel this is going to be a very tough situation for LG because that rotate is late. And all 4 members of Na'Vi are now surging towards Cold Zera's position. He's got 1 magazine left in that CZ. And that bomb's going to be going down any second now.
Yeah, it's not. I was about to say there's not really much LG can do in this situation, but they're making it competitive at least. There's going to be Fur coming out. Flame just needs to pull the trigger. He does. Takes down Fur, and now the bomb should be planted. It's still a 3-on-3 though. Zera coming out of the bank there does get taken down eventually, and that gives the man advantage back towards Navi. And you would assume the bomb's going to be planted momentarily, but we do have Taco coming up long.
Did they see him?
I'm not sure they did. And the fact that FNX can cause some sort of distraction here is actually going to be the kill coming in. And he takes down C's from long. That gives away his position though. No kits. They need to act fast here and yet to salvage a gun as of yet.
Back's a turn. Look at this. Guardian fortunately had Flamey holding his tail end, and I mean, this surely isn't going to go right, but then again, a tag onto Guardian, down to 40. There is still 12 bullets now in the chamber for Taco. He gets pushed by Guardian. This really should not be happening, but it is. Flamey has to save the day, has to do damage control, and he will. Pulls out the Glock to finish things, but it could not have got any closer. He does preserve the AWP for Guardian. But Na'Vi, could you please make these rounds look a little prettier? 4-4, they have managed to level things out, but doesn't matter what LG are wielding, they seem to keep us on the edge of our seats, Henry.
Every single time, it just seems like Navi dropped this first kill in these anti-eco situations. Fair enough, it's against CZs, but I'm not sure why players are isolated by themselves and getting themselves into unfavorable situations. But here we go then. We go into the next gun round here. Both teams with the AWPs and full rifles and utility as well. So this should be an interesting one. Guardian, of course, on that AWP will be hunting towards long, seeing if that aggression comes in. It's going to be Fallen with a more passive position towards the flower beds here, waiting. And this is a position Guardian's all too familiar with, one he plays a lot himself. And Flamey's going for the face here. Flashbang presumably gone over, and it's actually going to be Fallen picking up that first frag and getting out of there as well as he takes down Edward.
A decoy as well to potentially just try and delay Flamey and Guardian somewhat, keeping Flamey a little bit scared because he's just trying to keep... FNX is watching 2 very different positions, and this is going to be a really kind of 50-50 coin toss whether or not his back is turned or not. Here comes Flamey, and there goes him. As FNX does have the good read. He's going to be pressured down by 2 locations yet again. The guy is really a bit cornered, but fortunately his team are providing all their necessary support because now just 2 remain. He's kept them busy for so long, and just Zeus and Guardian up against the world.
Yeah, if there was a time to step up, this would be it. Guardian takes an aid straight to the legs there, and Zeus does find the kill on towards Fallen. You feel like that was a little bit of an overcommitment from his point of view, because Zeus is now capitalizing, taking 2 kills, finally shut down, and now just Guardian in the 2-on-1. Only has 1 kill so far, still needs to recover the bomb as well. Does have the orb still, but the CTs are segregated, but they are aware of the bomb's position. It's going to be 1 player towards connector. Cold Zera is listening out for footsteps. I'm sure he's giving the information towards his teammate now, as Guardian slowly but surely edges his way into the A site.
Surely the call would be just made. Taco, don't you dare show your face. Cold has got this. 10 seconds pass, and he gets it. That's going to be the 5th then for Luminosity. After keeping things damn close in those 3 rounds that Navi did manage to acquire, Luminosity are back, and this is where things need to get a little dangerous, because their money isn't fantastic either. They are going to just see, it's just what the 1 FAMAS.
So right now, we're not getting the picks. Navi aren't finding them, so I'm going to say let's just go for a set execution this stage. Let's get towards the connector control, let's get towards B, let's do the smokes over the bomb site, Molotovs go in, let's try and get a post-plant situation, then we can step up. As right now, relying on Guardian to find something here is proving a very difficult task going forward, but you're going to round number 10, we'll see what the CTs are bringing to the table. It's more of a passive setup, no heavy aggression towards middle. They have got 3 players actually going in towards B this time, so this could be a really nice read considering that NaVi are making their way slowly but surely over there. Guardian is checking out for any jump players, and he will spot the head of someone there, but not going to be given a second bite of the cherry here.
And just keep your eyes locked on that bomb's location. And sees, and he's going to be in a kind of a rather quiet location. Guardian, did he get spotted out by that jumping player? I can only assume he was. If I saw you, you saw me scenario unfolding here, 60 seconds. And yeah, it's a case of just who's going to overextend first. Zeus was so great in that previous round. Three kills. Wasn't enough in the end.
Well, they're building up here. We saw this against Tempo Storm, just walking with Guardian first, looking for that opening pick, then exploding onto the bomb site. It's called a contact play. As soon as you get spotted, that's when you have to make your move, but it's going to happen any second now.
And here we go, and Guardian hits that shot onto Cold. This could very well go awful for LG, and it does, because Taka was the second man on the site, and he is long gone. The rotate comes in, and it is a long way to get in with that bomb going down. It feels like every second matters, and look at FNX. He's got 2 players to fight. He's going to get pressured down by Flamey, and this is surely where you pull the plug. Yep, Fair and Fallen already not willing to try and make anything happen here. Instead, they're going to be clutching onto those weapons. It was a bit shaky as it was, but that's going to be LG getting another hard reset.
Yeah, well, it's lucky.
2 in a row.
It's lucky for NaVi that Luminosity was so passive in that round. I didn't get anyone flanking them from the backs. They're actually holding back on the A bomb site and quite defensively towards B as well. As soon as NaVi had pushed them back and taken the vision away from short and the monster tunnel, we saw how it worked. Guardian edges in with the AWP, looking for that first frag, and he actually gets it. As soon as that site open, that's when the whole team bundles in. They've got the man advantage there, and the frags are exchanged in their favor heavily, not dropping a single player there. And they're actually going to level things up here at 5-5. And the money not looking fantastic for the CT. They do save a couple of weapons, and the AWP is saved by Fallen as well. But you can see Famis is coming in, and the drops are being exchanged now. They're trying to balance the books a little bit here, as they do have 3 Famises. I'm sure Coldzera, I was about to say, will be doing a similar sort of thing, but he's got the CZ. Big round coming in. This could cost Luminosity too if they were to lose it. So Fallen needs to step up with that AWP now.
I mean, NaVi, that was a very, very one of the most convincing rounds we've seen from them, in fact, here on Overpass. And you can see going aggressive through the Molotov, unfazed by that investment. And look at this from Fallen. You said he had to step up, and he knows it. Going to try and get as much information early as he can. Committing to that angle. He does have his backside held by FNX, but for how long? Yes, he does. He takes down Zeus. He's paid a heavy price, but their Coldzera is there to not only retrieve the weapon, but to fill the gaps that a very low health CT does form.
That's a really nice swap out, isn't it? So they come in, pick up the AK-47, upgrade the CZ, and swaps out with the low HP player as well. It's perfect. But here we go then. NaVi looking to go back into that A mentality. 3 players towards middle, 1 holding long, and it's Guardian. Seems to be under the impression that someone's coming behind him, but that's not the case. They've all fallen back to the bomb sites now. They've got that man advantage, just looking to play passively here. NaVi do have 2 smokes to play with, and it's looking like Luminosity about to drop everything they've got and try and delay them as long as possible.
Yeah, so what we've got to play with. 3 flashes that they can use at the perfect time. At 40 seconds, you can really keep the T at bay. T side, rather, at bay. There's a nade as well for Fair. If he chooses to use it, he will be able to connect something towards toilets. Even in just that general vicinity, you're going to hit something, because NaVi are preparing themselves. 30 seconds. This looks good, actually. This boost on the ABC. It doesn't mean he's vulnerable to long, though, and Edward's going to take him down. All of a sudden, the playing field is level. NaVi are going to try and push where it hurts. Fallen's holding the angle this time with a FAMAS. He's going to be spotted out and destroyed by Flamey. Flamey winning exchanges you wouldn't normally expect to see these win, but it's Flamey, and Fur does bite back a double in very quick succession with the AWP now seized in Guardian. Yes, they have the bomb down, but the numbers are in the way of LG just for a second, though, because look at this. Guardian's woken up as well. Takes a leaf out of his teammate's book. Flamey hitting mad shots, so is Guardian, and NaVi. Clock may have been against them, but this is just that fundamental CS. They hit their shots in the end of the day. And now Fur is in just one of the awkward scenarios. It's planted for toilets, 2 to find, just an AWP to play with. No nades, no smoke, and no hope.
Yeah, it's FNX getting boosted up. He actually had the AWP. He's the one boosted up behind that APC. And when he had such low HP, I'm not really sure that was the right move to take. They're not forcing the issue there. They're not making NaVi come to the bomb site to try and find that kill. They're boosting out as 1 bullet to the chest required. They get it, and that just opens up an opportunity for them. Once the bomb's down, Guardian, like you said, finally turning up here, hits 2 sensational shots on the A bomb site, and they win the round. And that should be the money completely depleted for Luminosity now. And here is the kills coming in. It's Fur that opens things up. He actually gets that nice double. Oof. And then it was Guardian who went absolutely sick after that.
He's like, oh, we're picking up doubles with AWPs today? Awesome, I'll do that.
No problem. He can do that all day long.
And then you just saw the round kind of rounded out by NaVi. Money starting to become a bit of a factor for LG. And I mean,
It is just Fallen kind of forced to invest into that Kevlar when gifted the AWP. But other than that, really, truly nothing, just the CZ and P250.
Well, a player like Fallen definitely can open opportunities here. He's going to be based towards short right now and seeing if anyone will walk into his crosshair. And the thing is, NaVi are actually focused towards B right now, but they're looking like they're going to maybe showing most of their hand towards the monster tunnel. This time it's Flamey to open up proceedings, and he's going to be flashed in, and can Fallen knock him down? He can. What a lovely shot there to kick us off.
Yeah, and actually finding some security. He knows his teammate can hold his back towards Connector, and that does enable him to retreat quite safely. Seized, however, I see 2 LG backs turned. If they just assume Connector's clear, because Seized is just going to come out, and he's going to collect 1. He could get 2. Oh, and that is the round. All said and done. All of the investment from LG taken away in the blink of an eye, all thanks to Seized and his positioning, and he's not stopped there. That's 3, and LG are going to crumble around it, but Seized, Mr. Impact play, he did the same on Overpass last time, and he's done it again.
Really nice play from CZ, coming in at the perfect time. He's fallen and picks up that first frag as well, but it's not quite enough. They're waiting for the rotations of the teammates there, but you know what? CZ is going to rotate into your backs and take both of you down. Tech9 comes out, gets the 3rd as well, and now Taco in a horrible position just at the CZ, just trying to stay alive at this point. He hasn't managed to salvage a weapon. He's just hoping someone runs into his crosshair and he can just get out of there with the AK in hand.
Yeah, he can hope and he can pray, but Na'Vi surely too wise for those tricks. They know monsters are safe route out at this point. And there he goes. Edward does take that head clean off, and that's going to be another for Na'Vi. 7 on their T side here on Overpass. Things are looking bright. I mean, especially considering, I need to remind you that on that 4th round, Na'Vi did pick up and then immediately got knocked back down on their backsides, got reset themselves. And now to look at the score, it doesn't feel like that. 7-5, Na'Vi have got a much better feel for not only their money, but they haven't been kind of screwed over as much by...
Yeah. After going 4-1 down, they've actually bounced back amazingly. The last 3 rounds have gone in their favor. They're controlling the economy very effectively. This time, Fallen definitely doesn't have the AWP. He's got the FAMAS, and they go into this one with no kits. 1 smoke remaining as well. This should be a Na'Vi round all day long. You can see FNX hunting for the first frag. He's going to get it as well. I thought he was. Goes down to 12 HP. It's Flamey that saves his teammate there. Edward surviving somehow. And it's like, that's what Luminosity had to do. They had nothing to work with. They needed to find that first frag, and it looked like they had it. But unfortunately, the teamwork of Na'Vi prevails. And once again, they're in a 5-on-4 situation.
Guardian so critical of his performance in the interview after that game against Tempo. At this point in time, could be feeling similar vibes, just the 4 kills for him.
But one of the rounds he stepped up and actually got them back into the game. You know, the fact he got that double kill on the A-bomb site when they were a man deficit. But regardless, Zeus does find Fur as well. The CTs will have literally nothing to work with in this round now. They've got 1 flashbang remaining and a decoy, and no kits. Yeah.
Believe in that decoy. That FAMAS sound is going to throw Na'Vi into a downward spiral, man. 50 seconds, though. And Edward's the only one that's really met anything. It was that early aggression from FNX, and it didn't even get rewarded with that kill. Edward's going to be happily sitting at the back, enabling his much more healthy teammates to go elsewhere, keeping LG as distracted as he can, just rattling off a round or 2 towards long.
It's looking like Na'Vi now can just walk into the B-bomb, so once again, they're hedging their bets. Regardless, they're going to have the man advantage in whatever situation they walk into. Even if all 3 players are stacked towards this site, they're going to be going in pretty confident here. C's going to be in first. He does spot the first. It's actually Taco that takes him down. And now it's going to be Taco stepping up once again. Actually get 3 going massive here, but it's still a 2-on-1. Fallen stepping up as well, takes down Edward. Bomb will be going down towards B. This is an absolute mess for Na'Vi.
I'm sorry, I blinked, Henry, and all of a sudden there's a 1v1. This felt like Navi's round all done and dusted, but now Guardian v Fallen. 2 players traditionally on the AWP. Fallen, however, has managed to snatch away an AK from the Fallen T. And that's that decoy we were talking about. How much will it do? Nothing. Guardian does save the day for Na'Vi. That's 2 rounds now where the perhaps underperforming star player has saved the day and actually picked up another crucial round. That's 8, and this is looking even brighter and brighter for Na'Vi. I do want to, while we're talking about the scoreboard, do want to raise that 16 for Flamey. I mean, he has been just head and shoulders above the rest in the fragging department.
Making things happen across the board. Every single part of the map, he's clutching, he's entering, he's lurking, he's doing all sorts of roles right now and is stepping up where it counts. And we're going to be going to round number 14, and Luminosity, not really much to work with here. Just going to have the pistols and a bit of body armor as well. They're going to be stacking towards the bathroom area. Look at this. It's been a heavy problem for Edward. Every time he walks in there, he seems to get wrecked by these pistols, and you can see LG maybe predicting that as well. Will he make the same mistake for about the 6th time today? Time will tell.
This is that creativity that we were talking about before. LG like to innovate, like to try something rather audacious. And they basically show face for 1. They try and draw them in, try and bait them into a kind of a stacked against them scenario. Flamey could very well be falling for these wicked games. Hang on a second, Edward's going to be the first to fall, and there's another. That's 2 weapons, and LG are 2 steps towards winning a round they really shouldn't. Guardian is actually going to get pincered in here. Look at this, the FNX and coldzera duo are going to be playing with him, and that should very well be a kill. He didn't have to pay any price for it. Look at this, all 5 still standing for LG. 4 weapons picked up, and Seized is sitting there wondering where on earth it all went wrong.
Somehow that stack works out for Luminosity. That is holding strong. And look at the Seized though. This could get interesting, Alex. He somehow got into the bomb site completely undetected. Look at this discipline. He's just going to leave into... Oh, okay. Just wants a bit of money here. There it is. The crowd like the knives. And it does come in. He's still got 4 players to find, but at least gives him some more money to go into the next round with. Still has a lot of work to do here.
He could have done a bit more with that, you know. I mean, great knife kill, but he could have caught out there for next. Never mind, he's done that anyway. There's a low health Taco, and Bullet not too far from him either. Time, though, is the factor, as is coldzera, as he hits it with Guardian's AWP. And Luminosity Gaming, I mean, we heard about the innovation they like to try. Fallen, the master behind some of these crazy rounds, and it looks crazy, certainly to us here at the desk, but even more crazy to NaVi, who've just sat there and going, how did that happen? A team that we've already highlighted have been having a couple of kind of internal strife. Perhaps communications are not as good as they have been in the past. NaVi falling foul to the same kind of issues. And that's one way to start those communications, maybe falling a little bit apart, but still, big lead for NaVi.
Going into the last round here, it was Fer going aggressive towards the catwalk area. He's going to be dropped, and coldzera trying to rectify this. He has leg shot, sees as well, and goes and gets the kill for himself. 4-on-4 now. You can see NaVi are thinking about facing this as well. Not going to be the right decision this time, as you can see LG will be rotating back to the A-bomb site. Falling out left towards B. He's actually pushed up very aggressively towards T-spawn as well. This is a fantastic position from him. You can see how the stack's affected now. LG putting all their eggs into the A-bomb site.
And Fallen's going to catch another one here towards Flamey. Fallen, this positioning keeps NaVi guessing. I don't even think he knows before that round where he's going. And he could very well catch Zeus towards short as well. He's got the perfect read here. He's going to find a nice angle, and another body drops. Fallen, so damn influential. Pushing up aggressive. Finds himself 2, and now look at this, Edward and Guardian. This is the final round of that first half. Another attempt to try and put 9 on the board for NaVi, but I mean, it has been foiled entirely by that aggressive AWPing style of Fallen.
Oh, it's coldzera pushing off short as well. They've got the double AWPs this time, right? So he gets that leg shot, and he's so hungry for that kill. He goes chasing around with the CZ and does find it. But yes, you're right, Fallen stepping up massively there as well. Just Edward and Guardian remaining now. And they have only got 30 seconds to play with and 4 players to find. This is round number 15. They can't save here. So Guardian making his way emphatically up towards long, trying to find that first pick. They don't really have much time to even smoke the bomb site. They're going to be running in with some Molotovs and seeing what they can do there.
Yeah, gonna molly towards Optimus, molly towards Bank, and just pray, hope, and nothing's gonna come of it. There goes Cold and FNX to wrap things up, and LG keeping things so damn close coming into our second half of just our first map here in our first semi-final of the Intel Extreme Masters Season 10. LG looking to avenge their Brazilian brothers who fell in the quarterfinals to this very team. And now they have to try and make something happen on their T side.
Well, there it is. The latter stages of that half is definitely NaVi that woke up after going 3-0 down. It's actually 4-1. And they started to get so many rounds in a row, so much momentum built up. And it just seems like the economy ran away from Luminosity for a little bit there, but a pretty equal half. It's going to be NaVi now on the CT position. We'll see what they can do with this. Luminosity have got 4 sets of armor and 1 utility player in the form of Fallen as well. Smoke grenade, flashbang, and a HE. We'll have a look where they'll be heading as well. It's looking like a potential B split here, and that's where Fallen is heading with the bomb. Guardian going pretty aggressive towards mid as well, and he's actually going to hear some footsteps and decide to fall back here as he was towards connector. Going to be trying to get away with his life here, and this is the B split we're talking about. It looks like it will be a very fast play. The smoke will be going towards upper once they make their presence known.
Huge amount of information gathered by Guardian there very early. A fast fountain peak, and he knows an abundance about where this round is going, because look at that, you can just see, actually still Guardian and Edward are lingering on A, maybe not quite convinced by what they initially saw, but it'd be right to make that call.
There's a smoke towards upper as well, and there's more of that contact play. Big grenade there, could do a ton of damage as LG make their way onto the bomb site now.
Oh, but look at Flame, he's already taken down 2. He could get a 3rd hit. They're lining up, and he's just like a guillotine. 4 heads, 5 heads! Oh, Flamey dispatches of the entirety of the opponent's side. Luminosity fall, and that USP precision. His head was vulnerable the whole time, but so was theirs.
That was absolutely sick.
What? Well, that's one way to start your second half. Look at this. Just chopping them down to size. Who's next, he asks.
at that point when he was crouching, thought, wow, they're not even killing me. I'll just keep going with this then. Somehow getting away with it. Finds all 5 kills as well, all precision headshots. And that's going to be a massive morale boost going forward. You can see Luminosity have force put into this. More important though, Fallen keeping himself honest. They didn't get a bomb down, so he's going to be going Glock, no armor as well, making sure he has that AWP going into the first gun round. But we'll have a look at Flamey. He's got obviously getting 5 kills. He can go head armor and 4A1 as well. And can see the momentum going.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to put a huge amount of wind under the wings of NaVi. Guardian onto FNX very quickly. LG, you know, they've made crazier rounds happen. However, you can't help but feel that's just going to take everything away from the pacing of the Brazilians. There goes Fallen as well. NaVi springing their step now. Bombs loose. Chances dwindling. Coldzera just with that deagle, he's going to get taken away by Guardian. That's the 3rd for him in this round, as Edward does find his first. And they haven't conceded a single casualty. Bit of damage, yes. But they can laugh that off because now Taco's got nothing to do with that Tech 9, and that's going to be a seamless round from NaVi, finding double digits.
It's going to be so strong this going forward as well. They haven't dropped a single player there. Everyone's found the frags, and Luminosity not getting a bomb plant down as well means they have to be full eco going into this one. This is a great chance now for NaVi to start farming some more cash. You can see Edward still has that UMP. They'll probably be sending him in first to try and find the scalps of LG and see what he can do. They know they're not going to have much to work with here, and actually haven't purchased a single thing. 5 Glocks, no armor, no utility. So we're going to round number 18. You can almost guarantee this will be going in favor of NaVi. If it doesn't, I'm done.
I heard that almost. I can still hear it, especially after seeing NaVi do exactly that with, I mean, what was it? 1 flashbang?
Yes.
Over on Mirage not too long ago. We will continue to raise that matchup before it was an indication of NaVi's performance, but look at them go. Just going to be ripping through LG. They don't want to lose a single man here, and they won't, as there it goes. And hello 11. Luminosity then are going to have to try and overcome those initial 3 on the CT side. NaVi making that one look much better than the Brazilians did. You could see like the amount of men they had left after that one. That was a full 5-man, 2 rounds in a row, no one dropping, and then when he's going to start showing that.
Well then, it's time for NaVi to really see what they can do without the AWP. They're going to keep the FAMASs and the UMP. It's one of those plays you're just trying to build the bankroll up as high as possibly can. If they win this round, it pretty much sets them up for a massive victory going forward. It's such a big play if they can pull it off. Obviously up against it with the AKs and the AWP on Fallen, but still possible. They're going to be a little bit more aggressive here as well. See, smoking off towards short. And we'll just be patrolling this area for the time being.
This is you've already highlighted a very, very impressive play from NaVi if they can make it work, because it does put them in such good stead to find that 16 quickly. But on the other hand, not putting that AWP in the hands of Guardian does raise a couple of eyebrows.
This is the thing, they definitely have money to buy an AWP. They're just trying to do whatever they can to keep the money strong and see what they can do with these lesser weapons. But so far, so good. They have taken a reasonable amount of damage. Flamey's gone down to 17. He's one of the players with the M4, and he's been influential in previous rounds as well. We'll see what LG are bringing to the table. Going for that mid control as well. This first frag should be coming in. Shots fired from both teams through the smoke. And it's Zeus taking a little bit of damage there, but so far LG haven't really got much to work with. And
they're operating at a disadvantage because Taco's so invested into this lurk on the other side of the map. You can see that very distant bottom right-hand corner dot. Taco's not moving a muscle. He has been heavily tagged up, and I can understand that's a big reason why he is so passive, but it is going to be, no matter what, stacked up against LG now. Haven't lost a single man. Looking to change that is Zeus. You can see that smoke's going to force Fallen back a little bit, or is it? No scope, and actually Zeus is going to find him through the smoke. Fallen revealing his location, almost helping Zeus on his way to finding the opening frag in this round. Here we go with the 18 seconds left. LG, they've left it to the last minute, and Flamey just pocketed 600. Taco bites back though, and that bomb needs to be going down. Taco knows it. 10 seconds. The bomb needs to go down, but Caesar's got other plans, just the one. And look at their HP. Look, it gets worse. Guardian's taken down Fur. You said it was a risk, but it's going to find the reward unless Taco does something absolutely and truly, this word is thrown around a lot, insane. Not going to happen. Edwards shutting him down, and that's going to be NaVi. We're in very good stead now for the rest of this CT side. Their money's going to be, well, there's plenty of it.
Yeah, no insanity here today, it seems. Big round there for NaVi. Like we said, going in with the FAMASs and the lesser weapon there, it's a little bit of a risk, trying to build that cash up, and you can see how it's affected them going forward. So much to work with now. They've picked up the AWP as well. Such a perfect round from them, and a bitter pill for Luminosity to swallow here. You can see they're investing into it. The bomb definitely helps them out. I actually think they're a 4-stage loss bonus now. So $2,900 and the bomb going down as well gives them just about enough to scrape this together. Galil's, AKs, they do have smoke grenades as well, 4 of them in fact. It's just FNX who goes in with little to no utility. So round number 20 now, but NaVi with a commanding lead.
And with that AWP thrown over, recovered from Fallen, you can see NaVi putting a whole lot of time and effort into just making sure that they could recover that AWP, delaying that defuse. We'll see how much that pays into it a little later on. But I mean, LG about to be tested here. This would be 13, and you can see the 14 just around the corner as well. Here on Overpass, and Guardian not going to hit that shot. In fact, does give LG a little bit of information. They know that Guardian wouldn't have pushed that alone, or at least you'd assume so. Zeus was present as well towards Connector. But now LG, they have a little bit of pace behind them here.
This is much faster this time, actually, not trying to dissect all the different parts of the map, all just committing towards middle here, setting themselves up some smokes as well. But look at this boost coming from Edward. It's quite creative towards Optimus. They're going to be going for that first pick and falling back. You can just see over the smokes that I think there as well. So let's see if he can find his first kill.
On that smoke should still cause him a little bit of grief. Yeah, he's not going to be able to do too much with that. And the boost has been foiled without firing a shot. Now LG come forward. They're going to try and initially clear out Optimus, but there's two players there to greet them. Surely the welcoming party's done nothing, though. And all they've done is fall. Cease goes down, as does the bomb. And Brazilians have all of a sudden taken full control of this round. Operating at a disadvantage just for a second before Flamey does deliver, but so do LG.
Yeah, this is a safe call at this point. They can't really do much with this. It's a really nice play from Luminosity, actually. Just very simple. They're saying, well, they're going for such a passive setup here. Let's just take over middle, drop the smokes, get onto the bomb site as quickly as we possibly can. And that boost, which I thought was going to pay off for Edward there, didn't really amount to anything. He gets dropped in the end there by Fallen. It's just going to be Guardian remaining now. He has got the AWP. It'd be fantastic if we can save this and just boost the strong economy they already have.
That's something so very exclusive to Overpass and a few, maybe perhaps one other map where you can just throw two smokes, a couple of nades, and that bomb goes down without firing a shot.
This is the thing, you can see they were desperately trying to shoot for the smoke and take it down. They know it's going down, but it's just such a difficult situation. You're getting flashed, there's Molotovs all over the place. It's just one of those panic sprays. You hope it works out for you, but that time it didn't, and the bomb did get planted. But we'll see as this one goes down now. It's 4-1 in favor of NaVi, and Luminosity do need to be careful. If they were to lose this round, they did lose a few players in the last. They would definitely be on an eco going forward. So they have not got the AWP either, and Guardian definitely has. We'll see where he's heading this round. Going towards Connector once again. Radars off a shot through the smoke, unable to land anything just yet. FNX going up aggressive towards Shores, and he's caught off Flamey. I was about to say he had, but he turns around and rips his head off. FNX getting dropped there. He was almost gifted that kill.
I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that. Back turn, Flamey just flicks on in response and actually connects a huge kill. Flamey's been so influential in this game, not in this game, this tournament. Look at him, he's continually causing havoc for LG. He's only got 30 points of health, but he continues to push forward, makes Fallen work for it. There's the head though he needed, and it is going to be a 3v3 after plant situation. The bomb down for LG.
Ooh, okay, I thought Fur had another free kill on his screen there, but it's not going to happen for him this time. The smokes are down, the CTs are piling their way to the site. LG smoked out for now, going to be boosting onto the sandbags here. It's a lovely little position, can actually see over. It's a little bit of a one-way smoke. We'll see what they can do with it as well. Waiting for that defuse to come in. There's 2 kills for Cold Zera. Just going to be Edward remaining now. Doesn't really have many options, and Fur will finish him off there and give them the 9th round. It's a big one for them. Like I said, that would have been the hard reset going forward, and this could be the point where they actually get NaVi's money pretty low here. We can see what kind of buy they're bringing to the table. I think Guardian has got the AWP still, but they definitely won't have the same amount of utility or kits or that sort of thing going forward. So into round number 22. They have got the Pharmacists and M4s. 2 smokes now, no kits, but Guardian on the orb. And that's sometimes, Alex, that's all you need.
Certainly, sometimes, and they're actually about to be walking straight into Guardian's domain. Doesn't hit the shot, though. Caught a glimpse of a shoulder. Wasn't enough to make or convert into anything influential. Fallen expecting something aggressive towards long, and, well, he'd be right in thinking so. But so much that LG have to clear out here. You know they're not going to be on that bomb site anytime soon. We saw that aggressive play just once, Henry. They just kind of seem to have a little bit of kind of throw caution to the wind, turn up on that site a little quicker than usual, but now that we're back to that standard LG, that process of elimination.
There you go.
Thank you. And Toilets is going to be the first stop on their tour, but Edward's already there, and he's greeting 2 of them with an M4A1. More to come for FNX, though, and it's going to be a 3rd Edward, just keeping LG out. This could very well have been in 4th, but FNX, fortunately, does stabilize somewhat, keeping this within that winnable category for LG.
That was just so required from Edward there. They didn't really have the kits or the grenades to work with, so had to find something with that one. It's Edward pushing up aggressively towards middle, finds 3 kills as well. It seemed like Luminosity couldn't really communicate to themselves where he was. He was just running into his crosshair time and time again. And we have got 2 players remaining here. It's going to be FNX takes down Flamey there, brings it back into a 2-on-2. They still have the bomb, but only 30 seconds. But look where Taco is. He's made it all the way to CT spawn. And this could be perfect, considering the CTs are actually out of position completely. We have C's towards short and Zeus towards the fountain area. They're going to get a free plant here. And FNX set up in the bathrooms perfectly.
This is a weird one, because FNX still hasn't got the bomb down. Taco's surely going to make the call, like, now. 10 seconds. And that's given Seized and Zeus enough time. Zeus, oh my god, he's going to come behind them. 5 points of health. Now just 5 seconds. There's not enough time in the round. This is going to be awful. LG had that site wide open. They didn't know it. Of course, hindsight is 2020. Now Taco is trying to make the best out of a bad situation, but the round is going the way of NaVi, and everything correlated well for LG there. That whole altercation towards Connector could have gone so badly for FNX, but he picked up that one and managed to creep his way back towards the site. Everything was going well. Taco took a little too long to make that call, to say it was clear, and they were unwilling to take that risk.
It looked like they had full control of that situation. Like you said, when you get to a CT spawn, you've actually looked at the bomb, so say, this is clear. He needs to be getting up there much quicker. It was just a perfect timing coming in for NaVi there. As the backstab comes in, the bomb is dropped. They only had 5 seconds to play with towards the end, and picked up the bomb, wasn't enough time. And we'll have a look at the cash coming in now. Oh, it's not good, Alex. It's not pretty.
Is it starting to look closer and closer to that 16?
It's looking grim. So after losing that round, it's a full reset, only $1,400 coming into some of the accounts. And we've got Fallen on 1,400, coldzera on 1,500, Taco and FNX on about 2K. Fur does have just shy of 6. So I'll be interested to see what they bring to the table. Taco did save an AK-47, right? So there is options to drop maybe 2 Galils and then go with Tech 9s. That would be a ballsy play, I have to say. That would be a scary moment going forward. I would say try and use the AK with the Tech 9s and not fully force into this one. Maybe get some smoke grenades down. Let's go for a full execute towards B. Get that bomb planted, and maybe Taco can stack up his AK-47. That would be a logical reason. If they fully force buy into this, they're pretty much done.
It's do or die if they do choose to make that call. And hang on, that full 5,000 has been invested. Do or die is relevant, Henry.
All right. Well, they did have one player with around 5,700, so it's going to be that 1 AK, the AWP, and 3 pistols. This is a little bit scary.
This is nerve-wracking, not only for us, but for LG, as they are investing pretty much their chances of Overpass hanging in the balance of this round. NaVi closing in on picking up a map that they did manage to overcome versus Tempo Storm.
If they lose this round, they go into potentially match point for NaVi with $1,900. So that would be pretty much it. So they need to make this work for themselves here. It's a huge investment. It's going to be Taco and Fallen with the weapons. FNX, Fur, and coldzera coming with the pistols. Zeus goes aggressive towards middle, trying to find some bit of intel there. Rattles off some shots, but it's not going to be landing on anyone just yet. We'll see where Luminosity is starting to go. You can see they're very passive right now, just holding back and seeing if there's any aggression coming in. There it is. Guardian does spot one, and he's going for the face again. Oh, I thought he had him there, and he will just be smoked out for now.
Okay, Taco playing some risky games there. He's, of course, one of the 2 players wielding that AK, going for almost a second peek towards Guardian. Makes the palm sweaty, but no knees weak just yet. LG still haven't conceded anything at this point. They have all of their utility. I say all of their utility, what limited choice they did bring through. 2
smokes, 2 Molotovs now, and NaVi is answering back, locking them out for now. And Zeus went massive here before. Can he find this first frag? It's going to be FNX waiting for him. He's only got the PT-50 there. I think Zeus did spot him there, you're right. So a little boost coming in there. Fallen is looking above the smoke. They're going to be aware he has an AWP now, so you can see them adjusting themselves once again and probably going to a more passive setup here. It's Guardian waking up now, takes the head off Fallen and brings it into the 5-on-4 as well.
Oh, it looks like NaVi have woken up. They're not going to be falling for this, and Guardian's got another one. That's going to be 2. The rest have to kind of walk to his domain. Fur has scooped up that AWP, but what can you do with that one? Looks like something, because goodbye Guardian. What was that now? 25 seconds. LG, we've already highlighted just how important this round is. Now they have to do it with just 2 AWPs against the world, and now coldzera's done it. And the bomb is going down. Henry, I don't know what to think, and neither does Flamey, because look at his positioning. Seized is just going to try and keep those all eyes on him, waving his hands up in the air, saying, look at me, look at me. Oh, Flamey's in full ninja mode. I think coldzera's got his eyes on it, though. This pincer movement's going to do nothing. Oh my god, LG, you've done it! coldzera picks up 3, Fur 2, 2 versus 4. And Luminosity, they put everything into that round, but so did Cold and Fur. And that was unbelievable. They're still fighting for Overpass.
I can't believe what has happened there. NaVi getting all those picks. It's a 4-on-2, like you said. Guardian's already picked up 2. He's made 2 of the biggest kills he had to. And then he jumps up and faces again. There was no real opportunity. There was no need to do that. He's given them an opportunity for no reason. Make them come to the bomb site. You've got the crossfires there. You know they've got no time to go anyone else. Make them come to the site. Don't give them another opportunity to actually get a shot there. He dies, and then it's Cold Zero that picks up that AWP, and it just goes horribly, horribly wrong. And look what's happened here as well. NaVi have been forced onto a save.
Oh, it's just completely reset them. They're on 1400.
Yeah.
Brutal. I mean,
the boots is on the other foot now.
Yeah, truly it is. It's crazy. This welcome to CS. 1 round, 2 versus 4, and everything you thought you knew about this Overpass game is about to get turned on its head. Now LG are in full control, and they're gonna be able to close this gap quite quickly. This should very well be 11, potentially 12, considering that money and that round loss bonus is gonna be right back to 0. And Guardian, they just want to try and take something away. Give me a weapon, please, because right now he's running around with a P2K. Still thinking about that jump shot.
We were singing his praises for the first 2 kills he got. I thought, wow, he's woken up. This is it. He's taken down Fallen, ripped his head off. It looks like he's going to win this round for his team. And then he's the one to jump and faces and drop to AWP as well. And that's
it probably seems so harmless to him. Just a quick jump, trying to gather intel. Is anyone close to toilets? No. He probably didn't piece together that Fer's going to pick that AWP up and immediately be trained on his location. But I mean, yeah, what are you going to do? That is going to be Luminosity still in it and with a real fighting chance. They haven't lost anything really in this round. Fer losing just the 1 rifle, but Guardian doesn't seem to be able to recover it just yet. And he's gone as well. Fallen, salt to the wound as he does take down Guardian this time. And now Luminosity, their money isn't, I mean, it's not overwhelming.
But
won't be for a while.
This is the doubles eco situation for NaVi, so this is going to build up, and I wouldn't be surprised this gets to 13-13. We discussed this one will probably go all the way. It always does with these guys. Overtime, definitely a possibility here, Alex.
It always is.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see what kind of bite NaVi have got here. They've got 5-7s, CZs, and a Deagle, and Fallen out still obviously on that AWP. The last round was very clean for them. As we enter round number 25. C's trying to do what he can offshore, seeing if there's anything available. Is going to be Molotov out for now. And all the spam coming through as well. Guardian, this is audacious, pushing towards Fountain as well. He has been spotted. I don't think he'll be getting much for this, but getting back up from Zeus now as well.
Yeah, in this round it's very much going to be kind of blink and you miss it situation. Flamey just to 5-7. No, that's taken out of his hands by Taco, and LG managed to make it absolutely perfect. Just a little bit of damage conceded, but nothing to write home about, and they will be closing this gap. This is going to be another telling round. We've had a fair few of them already, Henry. As soon as you think you know where this game is going, a curveball is thrown. Let's see who's going to be the one wielding that curveball as we do go into another crucial round. Luminosity, another opportunity to knock NaVi on their backside. NaVi, an opportunity to get that 14th on the board, and then just 1 round away from that little bit of a sigh of relief. We've been talking about it all event, that 15, giving you a little bit more flexibility. But here we go, and already LG have got something quite different in mind from their standard.
Well, it's Guardian going aggressive from the B bomb site here, looking to get the first pick. He's going to be smoked out for now. We'll be opening up that connector door, and I'm assuming maybe a teammate will open it for him. He'll just be ready to take this shot, and it's such a perfectly executed strategy there. It's Gold Zera. Didn't know what the hell was going on, but the T's are reacting fast as team kills coming in. Fallen actually gets seized as well. This kill is it. It's going to be Guardian. Now it's time to fall back, and it's Fallen going to be capitalizing there as well. As I said, you've won the round at that point. Why are you giving your AWP away? But still, Fallen battling on here. It's going to be a 3-on-1 situation after such a glorious play there from the CTs.
I love that play.
It looked like it was going to fall apart a little bit, but it's actually Fallen and comes in with the TK.
Yeah, I mean, LG pushing forward, right move to make once the the jig is up. They're like, hang on, what on earth? Guardian's pushed up water. Why are we not charging towards him? They do.
But it's just through the smoke. It's just pandemonium there. Like, Fallen's just firing off shots through the smoke and hoping for the best. Rips off the head of one of his teammates, but he's getting up towards long, and this is actually, if he had to choose anywhere on the map, this is actually perfect, considering no one else is there. 30 seconds to play with, and he's still looking like he wants to win this round.
Win or get that bomb down.
He
Dream scenario.
He doesn't do anything but win, this guy.
All he does is win, 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 no matter what, Henry. Is that what you're telling me?
No, don't start singing.
I'm sorry.
We spoke about this before the cast.
You're right, okay. Songs aside, 10 seconds of Fun's going to have a wide open sight here.
He could plant towards bank. He could
Oh.
plant towards bank and make this really interesting,
5 seconds, he knows it.
Yeah.
He's going to get that bomb down. Right in the nick of time, and NaVi are going to be sitting there quite literally on the opposite side of the map. And he is just waving a flag saying, come and get me. 17 points of health in a dream. This would be an ace clutch from Fallen.
I'm believing.
You're a bit of a believer. Would you suggest that you don't want to stop believing?
Why don't you cast around?
Okay, tags up. 1. He's going to get... Oh! I'm starting to believe as well, Henry, because he's gone and taken Flamey. Oh,
absolute madness. A round that we will forget, because there goes Zeus. Saving the day for NaVi, but could you stop? He's actually got away with it. Zeus is out of the round.
No way.
Oh
He's
my
actually
God,
won the
Fallen
round.
has done this. I thought Zeus had time, but no. Luminosity.
I told you, you've just got to believe sometimes, Alex. 17 HP, 3-on-1. Looked like he was just going to be going for the bomb, but somehow 2 of the sickest shots we've ever seen. That was unbelievable. How did that just happen?
I don't believe
This second shot, I want to see how this went down. Oh my God, it's so fast.
Fallen could very well have just kicked Natas Vincere out of Overpass, 13-13. And to think that round started with a TK from that very man. He got 6 kills in that round, basically. Zeus, of course, not present. And Taco is starting with a bit of a fast one, trying to push NaVi further onto their backside because they are surging forward now. The bomb's still loose, so I'm going to calm down. But, oh, okay. We are being treated to a sexy game of CS, Henry.
That's one of those I drop the mic moments. As soon as that happens.
Drop the jaw, more like.
Oh.
Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man. I can't believe it. Oh, okay, right. Get over that. We need to continue because this game is still well and truly underway, and this is going to be a must-win. They always must win, I have to kind of remind you, but NaVi go for the boost, and he hasn't been able to make that count, and now Taco's got another. Taco threw long, took his time, but he's got 2. He could very well make this 3 as well, because they're caught out in toilets. They're getting pincered from every direction. Ed was looking lost. He is going to surely lose his life as well, and now seized. 1 versus 3, man against it all. We saw what Fallen can do, but there's nothing indicating Seeds can do the same. That's a start, but look at the price he paid. Okay. Heart beating a little faster. 19 points of health, and I'm just going to stop doubting people. Oh, Taco gets 4. HP question marks in chat. And it is good. The answer to that one would have been about 40, but Luminosity take 14, and this game just gets better and better, Henry.
We do have a pause coming in there, but you're absolutely right. That could have been another high-octane moment there. So many people stepping up and delivering here. It means everything. This game is always so exciting, and it's delivering once again. We're getting to round number 28 now. And Fallen, you have to say, with that play, made he forced them onto a weak buy, and they're 1 round away from map points. You can see the money for NaVi as well. 3,500. They are going to be forced buying into this as well.
So, the score is 14-13. We are going to be seeing this buy from Natas Vincere looking a little, you've already touched on it, but it's far from perfect and quite the opposite for LG. I am still catching my breath from that play. And just at Luminosity Gaming, a reminder for you guys while we are in this pause about what, not only that round, not only that play, but this game means.
Okay, we've got on the screen right now. This is crazy. The fact that they had no one on the A-bomb side whatsoever is kind of nuts to begin with. The fact he's got that bomb, as soon as he gets the plant down towards bank, he's in business right now. We know what this guy's capable of. That shot's sick, but it's this one that's absolutely mind-blowing. What the hell is going on there?
Slow that down for me. I just can't comprehend it. And then Zeus goes hunting. It's the only option he has, but he's drawn him back. Fallen just have the initiative immediately after picking that to just retract, get as far away as possible, get to that tight angle, force Zeus to go hunting. And time was a factor. No kit present for Zeus. I just assumed that that's something they would have. But no. And now 14. That was the turnaround. That's going to be madness. It's something I'm not going to forget for a while. Memories truly are made here in Katowice. Not only for the players, but for everyone involved. The audience still speechless. 14-13, though. And look, I am seeing a distinct lack of nades for that CT side. 2 flashes to hold off and a fully bought LG.
This is the thing. Smokes are so key on this map. You need to be locking out the key choke position. You see Guardian now making his way towards Monster Tunnel, trying to find those first frags. Got a boost towards Short as well. But you have to feel like NaVi had this game tied up. And it was a huge play that gets Luminosity back into this one. But this round is definitely going to be another massive one as Fur edges his way out towards Long. No presence from the CTs whatsoever. Edward with his back turned. This could be disastrous as he makes his way to the bomb site.
Oh, NaVi, this is not a round you can lose, and not in this fashion. Hang on a second, because look at this! 3 frags, 3 seconds, and LG are on the precipice of 15. Guardian's on the retreat. Flamey as well, but oh, Guardian not falling for that aggressive play from Taco, trying to cook up something spicy. Backing away, they need these weapons for even a chance at staying alive in this game. And Guardian's got another.
Wow. It's pretty incredible that LG just decide, well, there's no one towards long, let's just completely walk onto the bomb. So they know the money's pretty low there for NaVi. Guardian did have the AWP, but he's all the way over towards the B bomb site, so he's no help to them there. And they're doing a stack towards middle. It's a bit of an all-in play, and they get punished for it as well. That's going to be round number 15 coming into fruition for Luminosity. And all of a sudden, it looks like they're going to be taking this first map here. NaVi, after that huge play, looking down the barrel of map 1 going against them. They're going to have not much to play with here. They've got a Mag 7, Famous, CZ, and a Deagle. 1 M4 on towards Flamey as well. But once again, Alex, this game...
LG, they strike such a balance between this very reserved, methodical style of play to then just going like that. Fur just walked into the site like, hang on a second, get with me, Taco. And now they're on 15. This could very well be map 1 in this best of 3 series going the way of LG unless NaVi can piece it together with this rather half buy. Everything invested that they have remaining. And LG taking it on the default. It's Fur and Taco, that long duo that was so successful before, are going to be trying to make something happen, but Fallen's already done it, seized, trying to get some information. Well, that is a form of information, not the most ideal kind, though, as he's gone. And look at this, Fur and Taco have done it again. They're at it again, the same old hijinks. Now Guardian is the one that's going to have to try and deal with them while the entire call is made, and that safe route through long is going to be explored.
Really nice shot there from Guardian to bring this back into contention. He has founded one, but he is dropped. Flamey now, one of the biggest players remaining for NaVi, has got the M4, takes the kill onto Cold Zero. 3-on-3 still. NaVi not out of this just yet. The bomb yet to be planted is actually on its way towards long right now. You can see Fur just hunting for information here, and Zeus could fall into his trap. The timing is going to be so impeccable from Zeus, though. It works out. The Mag 7 prevails, and we go into the 3-on-2.
Could this game get any closer? FNX and Fallen are still in the running for this one. 40 seconds. However, where that bomb's going to go is a different question. It's a question that NaVi are trying to answer as best they can. A little touch of aggression just to try and feel out the remaining T's position. I think Fallen's going to present his back to Flamey if he's not too careful here. Time a factor as well.
25 seconds remains, but Flamey in a great position here.
Oh, dear.
Even if they walk past him, he's going to be coming in the retake thick and fast when they're trying to plant, and it's going to be so deadly. He's timed this to perfection as well. Should be out of the first frag. Drops Fallen, gets a second as well, and we're not done here just yet. NaVi holding on by a thread with that force buy. But Luminosity now, we go to round number 30, Alex. I can't believe some of the rounds we've witnessed here, but it's just so back and forth, so equally matched. And here it is, the final round. We can see a full buy coming in for Luminosity. It's actually going to be Fallen with the AWP once again and 4 AKs, and Guardian picks up the AWP. This is it. Can NaVi take it to overtime?
We're about to find out. So, diving into this one, Guardian just draw first blood. FNX is going to be forced to watch as this potential final round, maybe not, starts to unfold, because look at NaVi go. There's Taco with the first response. Giving love to him in the kill feed, giving love to Poland in the kill feed as well. Trying to get that crowd advantage we were addressing earlier in that VP game, but now all eyes on the remaining 3. Can LG finish this now, or are we going to be seeing that overtime? We've already seen NaVi in the face of a Brazilian overtime over on Cobble in their previous matchup versus Tempo, but now, what have you got? Natus Vincere. They have got a fantastic hold and a fantastic opportunity at this point in time to take this all the way. Is this Leipzig all over again? Are we going to continuously see these two teams go to overtime?
Well, we do have 1 minute remaining here. Luminosity edging their way towards B. It's looking like they're going for that contact play. Do have plenty of utility, but got to be banking on the opening frag as they're waking with that. HG though lands on the feet of all 3 players, and this opens up the floodgates. They're going to have to decide now, do they commit to this? 40 seconds remain.
The answer is we're going to have to, and look at Seized. It's going to be all 3 for him. He cooks, but it means nothing. And Seized just mows them down and screams overtime. We are not done yet. This is just map 1 of our first semi-final here at the Intel Extreme Masters. And LG and NaVi, they like to put on a show, and that is evident in that scoreline. 15-15. We are not going to be finishing just yet.
Wow.
Oh, Henry.
That play there towards the end. Look, Seas gets Molotov. He buys his time for a little bit. They're waiting for him to face as well. You know what? I'm just going to stand in the fight and kill all 3 of you at the same time as well. No problem. And he burns to rub it in the end as well. We are going to overtime here. And we saw how NaVi crumbled against Luminosity, against Tempo Storm in that first overtime, 4-0. But I feel like it's a different mentality going to this one. They've clawed their way back into this, and they're looking strong in those final rounds with the weaker buys as well. But you have to talk about that round from Fallen. It looked like NaVi actually had that game completely tied up, right? That was it. They money was broken. They just purchased an AWP. That was kind of all they had to play with. The 3-on-1 in a round, NaVi completely locked down.
I was already brainstorming about Inferno. I was like, right, what's going to be going on here? NaVi are going to be rolling through this one. Fallen, 17 points of health. I was making jokes about just trying to get a bit of a plant. And then Fallen does blow our minds.
Well then, we'll be going into the first round of overtime here. It's MR3, 10K. Money can be an issue if you let it be, but Fallen and coldzera, change of pace for them. They're actually going for a double AWP setup on the T side. And Guardian, of course, will be AWP on the CT side. He's going aggressive towards middle. Going to be in the bathrooms for now. Looking like he wants to get that first pick again. Not going to have anyone facing him just now, but actually coldzera is waiting there for him. That's one of the AWPs drops. And now 5-on-4, Guardian finally coming to life here. And Katowice.
It's been a long time coming. But what a time now. I mean, Guardian, you were bottom of the scoreboard at the start. This one now sits at 19. Fallen does bite back and relatively hard as well. Flamey, the most influential player for NaVi on that scoreboard in this game. And so he has leveled it somewhat. Time's still a factor because you can see how much progress Taco has made without being spotted. But now he can just start to apply pressure, and Seized thrives in that scenario. He's gone, and LG, they were a bit late behind Taco. He's made very little impact. He made so much ground, and now look at Seized. He's going to be dispatching of 2. Could this really be 3? No, the flash does enable LG to get that bomb down and have a shot at this round.
Such a back and forth affair, but it is going to be Luminosity the disadvantage here. Bomb has been planted, 2 players low as well. The retake coming in from Guardian. He's towards short, looking to find any players he can. They're falling back towards Monster Tunnel as well. Very passive setup, actually going to be stabbed in the back here, but Guardian's aware, gets the shot, he actually misses, and now he's going to be in a difficult position, but he rectifies it straight away, going for the double. At least the CTs know where FNX is, and Zeus is the one to shut him down as well. Diffuse comes in, and it's Guardian to open up the map, but you can see how back and forth this is. As soon as Guardian gets a kill, Fallen's on the other side of the map getting one as well. It comes down to a 2-on-1 in the end, but NaVi prevail.
Almost takes it as a cue, like, oh, I better go start finding someone. Goes hunting, goes aggressive. A very, very aggressive play from Fallen. You haven't seen that before. Pushing all the way through water, not even needing to check his corners, immediately realizing I need to level this one out fast, and he does, taking down Flamey. Not enough, as Natus Sincere have just pulled out something you don't see every day. Henry, what are your thoughts on Flamey?
Auto sniper on Overpass. I can't say I'm a huge fan, but looking like they've got a little plan for this as well. This is actually really interesting. This is pretty OP. It's a B rush coming in. The auto sniper's going to go absolutely ham. Finds 2 kills for an FNX drop, and the bomb's going to be going towards that area as well. They've just been absolutely rattled there, and now it's going to be a 5-on-3, and they can't believe what just happened to them.
I really can't either. Taco doesn't want LG to be out of this one just yet, as NaVi keeping our hands firmly on the pulse. As here we go, pushing forwards, and it's going to be Taco who gets a second and a third. Taco is stepping up in a big way. Guardian lands a nade into the pocket of him though. Edward's there as well, and Fallen, you've impressed us once. Can you do it again? The bomb is down, so half the work is done for him. 2 are about to line up. That's 1. This is the situation. Fallen laughs in the face, and he has done it. He keeps it level. Fallen, the clutch man, the man of the moment, has brought it to 16-16. Everything pointed to NaVi picking that one up, and that huge investment of that auto sniper falls flat. And
well, to be fair,
just yet.
It gets the first 2 opening frags. It looked like that round was over, but somehow Luminosity come into the bomb side, find the AK kills, and give Fallen a winnable situation. He just needs something to work with. The bomb was down, and like you said, as soon as he knew where the CD players were, you knew he was winning that all day long. 2 great shots secured there, so calm under pressure, and it comes into 16-16, the final round of the first overtime here. It's going to be a difficult situation for the CTs. Have got double AWPs, but Famas as well.
I mean, Taco was really a huge part of that. 3 kills. Just shutting down, not letting them have that freedom with that auto sniper. Still, into this round and keeping my eyes on where that bomb is going. You know, LG like to play these games. FNX is the only one that's kind of pushed up relatively aggressively, perhaps trying to catch out on overextension from either connector or short. I don't think he's going to move anytime soon. Just as I say that, though, he's going to go for some information, and Seized. Timing is everything, and FNX has got it this time as he does behead Ukrainian player. Now FNX looking for a second one. Guardian again missing the shot. Whistles past the ear of FNX, and he's lucky to be alive, as now LG, while he's doing all of that, selling that as best he can, are about to meet Edward and Guardian. Double AWP, I have to remind you, Zeus is still hanging out towards Monster, and Guardian may very well make the call if he does catch a glimpse here.
It's going to come down to Guardian as well. He's going to have players on his screen any second now. Looking like they may be setting up for the A execute. They do have a couple of smokes remaining. Guardian's going to be flashed off for now, and there are the smokes coming in. And what's the play here? Will he be pushing through? Gets on the bomb site. He misses a shot. That was the crucial one. coldzera hits it, and he gets a second as well. That should be the round over. Flamey, with everything to play for now, needs to find something here as the bomb is planted on the A side.
just taking it in turns to step
Okay,
up.
what is that?
Zera. Taco got 3 last round. Calder's gone and just got 3 himself, and he's going to end it right there. It's going to be 17 and 2 rounds on the first half of overtime for Luminosity.
He felt like Guardian had that one. He knew what was going on. New players are coming towards him. Jumps on the bomb site. Had he hit that shot and killed coldzera, he's the guy who's coming in and getting 4 frags in the end. So that could have been the round just there. But it's coldzera that steps up, and actually Luminosity coming in and winning the first set of overtime here, 2-1. What an exciting 3 rounds that was, Alex. Just back and forth, frags all over the place, much faster gameplay, just rock and sock and robots going back and forth there. And there we go then, NaVi on the back foot. Need 2 to draw. Let's see what they bring to the table here. What's the double orb setup on the T side? From Luminosity, they swap over now.
They're going to be putting that double orb to use.
Yeah, why not? It worked out for them in the first half. Let's give it a go in the second. This is going to be the singular orb. Ball Guardian once again. And we'll see where Fallen decides to go this time. He'll be making his way towards B. And looking like coldzera will be joining him as well. It's an orb party towards the B bomb site, and coldzera is going aggressive towards short.
Very, very interesting use of these orbs. I mean, putting them both on the same site, so close quarters, that's a lot of faith in hitting that first shot. Very vulnerable to a lot of pressure towards that B site. A B execute now would ruin them.
Exactly. If a full execution comes with the smokes and flashbangs, they're not going to be able to hold that off. It is a huge risk here, but one they're willing to take in overtime. This is where finals are made, when these big plays, the confidence comes in, and we can see now NaVi making their way up towards long. As Edward checking out the bathrooms area as well. There's not actually going to be any presence from the Brazilians here whatsoever. They're going to be smoking off towards APC just to take that vision away. And you'd assume this will be some sort of an execution coming in from NaVi now.
One would assume, but there's still so much time you can't. Oh,
what is this?
This is
something new.
It is.
Oh my God!
They're gonna get the kill. This game just keeps on giving. Guardian's taken down FNX, and he's, I was gonna say not done yet, but Cold just ducks under. He's down to 25, and they were just trying to piece that together. Cold's peeking that safely, thinking, oh, hang on. He's finished the job he started, takes down Cold. And where is this innovation coming? Katowice really is testing all players here. The champions are truly being forged in this semi-final.
I have literally never seen that before. That is something new. When you're in overtime, sometimes you need to roll out the big guns. And that definitely was an interesting play. Very creative, very interesting. That's the sort of stuff you save for the big lands. And that's pretty sick. Smoking off, taking the vision away from the CT. Did you see what that bird's eye view you had of the bomb site? That was incredible.
That was, like, you don't get one of those plays most games. We've just got like 3 or 4, Henry, in one game. This is our first of the best of 3 now. Fallen's just roaming around trying to make some sort of impact. Try and take something, a glimmer of hope, but no. And NaVi, how long have you been sitting on that one? That old chestnut.
They're discussing it now. But I don't think anyone realized what was going on. You could see Luminosity was like, okay, where have you just been shot from?
I mean, watch this now. Watch coldzera. He has a shot fired at him.
Look at this.
So
it's
keep
ridiculous.
your eyes on Cole. Keep your eyes on Cole, because he comes up and he sits there so openly. A shot comes in and he sits there like, what was
He got legged
that?
as well. And then, so he legs one, kills another, and he's still not even being shot at that. That's so cool.
Oh, wow. Right, back on in, 17-17. As this truly feels like Mission Impossible. This game could very well keep on going all night long. It is going to be truly neck and neck. 2 teams so locked in this constant battle, this constant struggle. But FNX has just taken a huge, huge leap towards winning this overtime. Double onto both Zeus and Guardian gone. That connector presence completely deleted. And you know what? LG go from abandoning toilets to now stacking it. It's going to be Fallen and FNX present in middle. Ready for mid control. And FNX, he's not done just yet. That's going to be another one. Flamey's gone down. 3 already, and every member of LG is just having their round. That one was FNX's, and it's going to be rounded out by Fallen as he does take down Edward.
Just sees remains now. Not really much to work with. It is 17-17. And we'll see whether he fancies his chances. Still has a minute to play with here. And if he can find one frag, it definitely gives an opportunity to separate the CTs and have something to work with here. And it's going to be Fallen. It's quite aggressive in the open here. Can hear him coming. He's just going to be retreating now, but C's going to catch him on the rotation. There it is. That's the opportunity he needed. Headshot. And we go to the 2 versus 1. Smoke deployed as well. And he has a real opportunity to plant the bomb and make this very interesting indeed.
He's planting on the precipice of the smoke. They're a little bit more vulnerable than he'd perhaps have liked, but the rotate's still coming in from Luminosity, and they are going to be investing as much of their flashes. They're going to get hunted down or not. Seized. Don't you dare. We've had enough plays this game. Is this really happening? Just 7 points of health. Cold's gonna hunt him down, and Cold's done it. He picks it up, he saves it, and he's gonna be picking up that defuse. Okay.
I told you, as soon as he get that one kill, that's all he needed. And he gets the bomb down, it comes down to one-on-one as well. Cold's error, definitely feeling a little bit uncomfortable there. Didn't have a kit, only had the Famous to work with, and somehow comes out on top. But what a play from Seas. Did everything he could to at least make it exciting, and did he deliver?
At this point, I don't know what to believe. When do I write out a team? Never, it seems.
Never.
Here in Katowice.
Never in this kind of stage of the tournament, and these two teams, any situation is possible. We've seen it now.
This is truly, truly crazy. Could we see a double overtime?
Definitely.
LG trying to force this right now. They want to get this done, setting their sights on the second map. This is just map 1 of our first semi-final, folks, and it just keeps on giving. As Luminosity want to wrap this up right now, 5 kills could potentially secure what has been a very hard graph for both teams. Both of them blowing our minds with some truly, truly beautiful Counter-Strike. Oh, is it happening again, Henry?
What is this?
Oh, good God! Guardian takes down Fallen.
I just don't know what to say anymore. Where are all these coming from? This is so sick. This has just been saving this for the big LAN opportunities, and they're delivering just when they needed a kill. Looking down the barrel of dropping this first map, they're actually coming in massively here. Another 3-man boost takes down Fallen towards long. Unbelievable scenes.
Oh, man. And of course they get the kill. Of course they take down Fallen. Cold levels it out. That's Zeus gone, caught with a nade in his hand. 45 seconds, and LG, while they do get their head around it, or rather Fallen, while he gets his head around that loss, the rest of them, the 4, continue on. First holding a tight angle. FNX has taken down Edward, 3 kills away now. Flamey, you've been so good. Can you continue to be so? Yes, is the answer to that question. He can't quite catch the glimpse of another. Caesar's got it, done it even better, taking down Fur. Now Cold and FNX. FNX, though, has just got a huge 3 for him. Cold needs to take the 56 points of health away from Flamey to take this first map. This is all onto one man. One man we've already seen huge stuff from. Winning a 2v4, can he do the 1v1? Flamey's sticking around here, Henry.
He wants to take this. Flamey actually out of position as well. What a shot that was from Flamey! Secures double overtime here. Cold's error's dropped, and this has been so back and forth. FNX going huge with 3 kills there, unable to seal the deal, and we're going to double overtime, Alex. What a game this is turning out to be. We knew it was going to be good, but did we think it would be this good?
I feel like a child on Christmas Day, Henry, to cast this, to witness this, that everyone pulling out all the stops, NaVi pulling out tricks that I do not know how long they have been keeping that one in the back pocket, with 250,000 on the line here. Semi-finals of Katowice, a platform that both of these teams value so heavily. And I mean, wow, the crowd here in the Spodek are getting a treat, as are we, and as are you guys at home. Look at this shot. Fallen was sitting there none the wiser. I can't believe it. Okay. FNX so close as well. Look at that double, everything continuing to blow our minds. But we're into it already, Henry. It begins again.
Absolutely. I need a time to relax here. But we'll see what's going on. We're going to the beginning of overtime number 2 here. Double up setup this time for Luminosity. And we'll see whether we see any more crazy boosts coming in.
I don't think my heart could take it.
Yeah, it's looking like more of a BXQ straight away from NaVi here, changing it up a little bit. It's actually been rare to see them do an XQ straight off the bat. It's looking like that's what they're setting up for right now. Bomb is still towards T-spawn, Alex, so this could mean a little bit of a fake coming in, actually.
Okay. How much did they invest into selling this fake, though? Looks like
it's
going to be a full commitment. They're not going to throw that much in there, but not make something out of it, because here they come. And actually, it's going to be Seized first on the scene this time. Usually you expect Guardians to try and make something, but not this time. Now Seized does turn forward and takes down Taco. Is Cold going to be able to trade this? Yes, he can. He's actually wielding that AWP. Edward, however, does make things look very, very good for NaVi. Bomb ticking away. LG are miles away. Furs on the full loop-the-loop. But I can't help but feel NaVi have done enough.
I think you might be right here. Fallen trying to rotate, but as we said, though, Fur does find the kill onto Zeus. It's now going to be the man advantage in their favor. Next kill going to be absolutely vital. It's Edward to pick it up, and he's dropped as well. Just one player remaining, and it's going to be the one-on-one situation. Fur to find him, and he should be able to do it as well. Somehow the retake after such a successful entrance into the B bomb site. A great execution. It's Luminosity that come out on top there. Our team plays 18 now.
Okay, so I'm stopping. No, none of that. No more writing people out. That felt so. I mean,
done it about 5 times.
Yeah, but look at that. That was a hold NaVi should have had. You can't deny that, Henry. You agreed with me at that time.
At that time, it looked like it was a very successful. They get the bomb down, they get set up, and then Further steps up. Wow. And as soon as that first, it's one kill that can bring them back into these situations. But here we go then. We're going to round number 2. Still on the double orb setup here. Looking strong, Luminosity.
Look at Flamey. While we have that number in front of us, 38. This is going to be 40 before this overtime is done. And now we're into a round that previously NaVi have won, keeping things level in this overtime. CT's holding vigilant. Look at that hold from Fur. He is hotly anticipating someone to show face towards Party, but the majority, in fact, there he goes. He overextends with nothing to show for it. Look at that. There was no one present from the rest of his side. They are, however, bundled up towards Connector, and this is going to be a shot you can't miss. Smoke dissipating was enough, though, for FNX to get away unscathed. And now, after losing Edward towards middle, they start to take mid-control.
This is it. Guardian now learning his lesson from that game against Tempo Storm. Will be giving himself some cover as he makes it well. But look at this Fur, just pushing through the smoke here. This could be absolutely massive, but he's looking the wrong way. Guardian capitalizes, and it comes back into a 4-on-4. Fallen not falling back, though, just yet. It's going to be Zeus setting up for the A attack. And it's looking like the CTs may be retreating as well, smoking them off, delaying them slightly as we enter 45 seconds remaining.
They've still got so much time, and NaVi could very well change their minds. I think Zeus is going to be a little bit of a scout for that one. But Zeus comes in. I'm not surprised to see Guardian just getting himself higher up. In fact, that's what we've seen so many damn times now, whether it's on teammates or on walls. Guardian high in the sky. 25 points. 25 seconds rather. My mind's still boggled by the fact how close this game is, and actually he's going to tag onto Fallen. He's still breathing, and that's a real big problem for NaVi. Zeus, however, just gets one, but LG, a flurry of frags too. Fallen and Coldzera both connecting with their orbs, and they're not done yet. A tag onto Flamey, but with him still breathing, he can hit shots like that. Anticipating the presence from behind, he's in a 1v2, and it looks like Taco can stabilize. That is going to be the 20th then for LG.
Looking very strong here indeed. Luminosity holding on there, just taking down NaVi of every attack they tried in that round. Flamey unable to step up in that situation. It was a little bit too far gone for him. And we enter the 3rd round here at the first half. And we'll see what they can bring to the table. Money's still okay for them. And it's going to be Guardian with the AWP now. He's going to be going back towards middle. We'll see what kind of aggression Fallen's bringing to the table this time. Got to be going towards long. And will we see another creative boost coming into this one, Alex? We've seen a few so far.
Have they really got more up their sleeve? I feel like they don't even have a sleeve anymore. They've ripped it off. They're rocking the tank top C9 style. And that is all of NaVi's tricks expended into this one. That shows just how much they've invested into this. They really need to pick up Overpass. They know it. And the desk anticipated LG picking this one up. And NaVi are keeping it so damn close.
It's a very different change of pace here. You can see they've gone very defensively indeed. LG don't want to give anything away. Want to make sure they secure this 3rd round. If they were to get the 3-0, it'll be absolutely huge here. But NaVi, slowly but surely, dissecting that mid area. C's just working towards B, throwing smokes there and trying to keep the 3 CTs remaining towards the B side of the map.
Look how much utility the CTs still have. And look at that stark contrast on the T side. They can keep them at bay for days still. Unless they just choose to push through mollies, through the fire and flames. I doubt it. And FNX is actually anticipating a flash push round long. Look at this.
It's a high-risk position, but he has been backed up by Fallen as well. But it's Guardian this time that gets the drop on him. FNX fighting back, though, finds Flamey, but look at this. Emphatically making their way onto the A-bomb site. NaVi do have full control here. Need to find this next frag, which they do. Zeus takes it, and the plant should be coming in.
Tough situation for LG. As I said, I'm not going to write them out, but NaVi can't let this round slip away for so many reasons. Everything pointing to NaVi picking this up, but there's the molly we're talking about. That's the utility that's going to flush out C's. Look at that, he's cooking alive. He's forced to push, but still gets away with it. Takes off Taco's head. Fur and Cold remain. Will make it just Fur, as he is now going to be forced up against the wall. 3 members of NaVi breathing down his neck. The bomb's ticking away, and he knows that chances of this one are completely diminished. Oh, but we know what Smokes have been doing here in Katowice. It's his only option, and he knows it's unlikely. Zeus, fortunately, does have the lineup, and that's going to be a round for NaVi, a much-needed round.
Much-needed round, definitely. They get the 2-1, and it had been a 3-0. It would have been such a scary prospect going into the next one, but they managed to find it, and it's a pretty secure round as well. We saw Fur at the end. We thought maybe he could roll in some more magic there, but it wasn't meant to be. The smoke goes down on the bomb, but it's only meant to defuse for 1 second before he's dropped. So, there we go then, round number 4. LG did bring 2 orbs onto their T side as well. We can see Fur considering that as well, but it's just going to be the one this time. And what else have we got here? I feel like
No
it's a
auto
few-
sniper, Henry, I'll tell you that much.
Well, that was an interesting experiment, which worked out initially and then fell apart catastrophically.
Well, thanks to 2 men, Taco and Fallen, just picking up 5 kills between them. Here comes Guardian, Mr. Aggressive. He's been doing this a whole lot, and actually the flash will force him to back away. Not a single bullet fired, and yet so much CS played already. I love the power of a $200 investment. Guardian backing away, continuing to recede. That overextension has given him nothing, no information, not even a tag. And now the CTs just await their destiny. Where is LG going to take this one? NaVi looking to level things out entirely. This would be that 2020 that it's kind of crazy to consider. This is just map 1.
Well, you can see Luminosity still do have 3 smokes remaining as well, trying to get control of that bathrooms area. Going to be Cold Sarah waiting for the smoke to dissipate here. Has got backup from his teammates as well. They are trying to make their way towards middle. It is Guardian on the A bomb site this time. He has had trouble in this area, getting smoked out. He seems to jump on the bomb site and get taken down. We'll see what LG bring towards him this time. They're going to be focusing their attention towards long, it seems. The bomb, apprehensive as to where it wants to go. And we hit the 40-second mark.
Have they taken too much time here? They've got so much still to work with. And NaVi, they've invested almost everything. Edward's the main man with the utility. He's the one that's still hanging about towards the side. But look at Zeus. He's actually just lingering on the other side of that smoke. Will they really push through? LG going to fall for that ploy? Doesn't look like it. Molly to try and flush him out. Guardian's the one training his aim towards long, and it's actually going to be Zeus who does need one, but immediately traded by Cold. That's almost the best way it could have gone for LG. And now Guardian's going to be tested. No more jumping on the box. He has to play this perfectly, and already the bomb is going to be going down. 10 seconds left, and LG do get that plant they needed. Round far from over.
Absolutely. 3 on 4 now. As I say that, it's going to be Guardian. He gets dropped. Joining him is Flamey, and now sees everything to play for. 4 players to find. He won't be able to do this there. Very slow play from Luminosity, getting the full AX going in. Plans with the last 10 seconds, just finding frags all over the place as well. And that's going to put them 1 round away from taking this map here. It's been a very long, drawn-out affair, Alex, but it feels like it's coming to its logical conclusion.
Stop it. We discussed this, Henry. We don't ever say that. We don't ever write a team out, because this has already proceeded to every single time exceed our expectations.
Well then.
So, could NaVi do it? They have to win 2 consecutive rounds to continue to take this into what would be a 3rd overtime. Or can LG finish it right here, right now? It looks like Zeus is really kind of wanting to take a chance here. He's probably going to be first on the scene. First contact and aggressive play on such a crucial round, making me more nervous than I already am. Fallen's taken down Guardian in true Fallen style. And now just 4 NaVi players remain battling for what has been such a hard graft here on Overpass.
Here we go then, there's another shot rattled off by Fallen there. It's going to be Cold Zero with the alley-oop, takes down Seas, and it's going to be FNX chiming in as well. This could be it. It's going to be a 5-on-1 now. Edward, the last player remaining, that's it. Luminosity are taking the first map, unless Edward can pull off an absolute miracle. And I know, Alex, never say never, but he's gone down to 8 HP, and he doesn't really have any control of the situation whatsoever. Surely this is it now.
I think we certainly can say it now, but there it is. Cold Zero seals the deal, and Luminosity works so damn hard. So did NaVi. And this game keeps on giving. But just map 1 of the semi-final here in Katowice has been won by the Brazilians as they strike fear into every NaVi fan.
I couldn't even tell you what my favorite moment was. There was about 7 or 8 different massive moments there. Each team stepping up, amazing creative play, sick clutches coming in from Fallen. Everyone is having their moments. Flamey with an amazing amount of kills. We talk about this being the best series in Counter-Strike, and so far it's delivered beyond expectation.
I can't wipe the smile off my face. You know, I use that kind of child Christmas Day analogy, and it really does truly feel like it. I'm sure it feels just equally, if not better, for LG, because what a game to win. When you work so hard and then proceed to lose it, that is a kick in, well, various body parts.
Various. Maybe the teeth.
Maybe the teeth is a nicer way to put it.
Yes.
I was thinking more groin region, but there you go. And LG, everyone is going to take a well-needed break after that one. I really have nothing more to say, but fortunately there are people much more vocal than myself standing by to dissect that one, and so it's over to Henry's husband. It's Sadakis. Tell me what on earth just happened.
Honestly, Alex, I'm not 100% sure I know either. That was, I mean, every frigging time these two teams play each other, it's amazing. We knew it was going to be close, that close, I don't think anyone predicted. Inventiveness all over the map. Every single player has a nuts round. Let's not forget Falling, killing his teammate, looking out of it, and then pulling the game back in their hands. By all means, dig in, guys. I don't know where to start on this one.
We could be here. I mean, we are going to be here all night, but we could be here all morning if we're going to try and talk through everything that just happened. I mean, obviously, I think the thing we most want to talk about are all the highlights. The one point I had, the one that I noticed sort of in regulation, was how much LG were struggling on the CT side to keep NaVi away from the A bomb side. It almost always happened that the LG players were actually really far back, which meant NaVi could just put up smokes and do executes. And I think they sort of failed to utilize the whole restrooms area more. NaVi were very good at putting pressure on the Ts. When they were on the CT side, they sort of really made them fight a long time for it. I think that had a big impact on the game in regulation. Now, once it goes into overtime, it's like you just take the playbook and throw it out the window because nothing matters anymore. I mean, this level of Counter-Strike you can't even imagine, can you?
I would say the opposite. They brought the playbook to overtime. What the hell were those boosts?
Yeah, triple boosting and everything. Very, very delightful.
Quite very delightful for everybody. I mean, I think the reaction kind of speaks to, well, that these boosts, weren't exactly public, right? I'm pretty sure that most of the pros out there didn't know about these. That a few select might, and then a few select might be pretty pissed right now that NaVi are showing that these are possible.
This map lends itself to boosting, doesn't it?
It does. There are more possible. I can tell you they're more possible than the two you've seen here. Absolutely.
This is amazing. But it's also really important to note, to tell the viewers that this is not illegal in any way. This is just three players boosting on each other. There's nothing illegal here. The most common one you already saw a couple of times was people boosting towards the B bomb side so they can look onto water, right? So the problem here is the nature of the map, right? What you said, how Luminosity played passively in the bomb side, it's what we saw in the overtime as well. And when NaVi goes for something like this, obviously it's going to work perfectly when no one knows about it, right?
Yeah.
Now people are going to pay more attention to it, but it's an amazing thing to see. I mean, a great innovation.
We also have to consider ourselves pretty lucky there that, when they boost, they actually found somebody to take advantage of the boost, because it would have been sick to see the boost, but then it's just like, oh, wait,
but that first one, you see the whole A side.
Oh, yeah, that one's incredible.
So sick. And he re-peeked it, too. The first time he got, okay, wait, the up shot came in. No one called where he was. He peeks again, and then Guardy was just like, I'll take cold down through the wall this time. I know he's there now.
We should point out, sort of, just because we might have new viewers or people who are not so familiar with the game. I mean, let's be honest, triple boosting is not something you do a lot in matchmaking or anything. So just mechanically speaking, the problem with triple boosting is that when you're the player on top, the third player up there, you're sliding in the direction you're looking. So, and you cannot stop yourself. It doesn't matter if you back up or do anything else. You keep sliding unless you face into. Well, that's why people face into a corner, because then they just slide into the corner and they get stuck there, and their aim is still good. So it may seem like, oh well, why don't people just triple boost everywhere? You can't. You have to do it into a corner, and it's. I mean, think of the risk. It looks amazing when it works. Think of the risk. Think of how many times they could have tried this, and they would have got spotted. They would have lost 3 players initially from doing some stupid tower in a corner. That's why it's impressive.
Well, that's the other aspect of the risk. And the second one, just to be clear, had a very obvious corner. The first one, it was because of the slight protrusion of the pillar that allowed them to clip into it. So it wasn't as obviously a corner, but there was still a texture.
Which one?
The first one, we saw Guardian shoot into the A site.
Yeah.
It just had this slight texture sticking out from the pillar in the wall.
Right. Let's not go into so map makers employ something that's called clip brushes, and sometimes it's not even about just what you can see. A lot of the maps have clip brushes that are invisible in the air essentially, and you sort of walk into them. And again, it takes a lot of time and dedication to find these things, but obviously some people did it.
All right, so the boosts, that's pretty cool. I mean, it worked out awesome, right? But I think we also have to give credit to Fallen for one of the most legendary freaking 1v3 clutches we've seen in a long, long time.
I can't even believe that.
Like that, and this just goes to show you how incredibly valuable Fallen is, because he's just so explosive, and he always seems to come through, whether it works or not, right? Whether it's enough to get his team to win or not, he always seems to come through for his team in these key rounds that could mean the difference between losing the map and keeping his team in that map and winning it, right? And yeah, I mean, he just did it in one of the most incredible fashions possible.
The shot that he hit from the back.
Oh, are we getting the replay right there?
I'm sure it'll be on this eventually. We're just running through general highlights from
right.
But
But
you'll definitely see it.
Incredible.
What do you even say about this game when we kind of forget that Flamey had an ace in the second pistol, all 5 headshots.
39 kills. 39 kills total for Flamey. He was 1 short of the 40 bomb.
I mean, it's
So nuts.
This was an incredible game, as you pointed out, Anders. If this game ended in regulation, we would still have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
I mean, these teams had, I'm really glad that we were wondering if NaVi will show up or not. They did, and boy, am I glad that they showed up, because we saw so many dynamic moves, right? That sometimes teams were going for plays, missed the call, missed the read, so it didn't turn out the way they wanted to, but a lot of changes of pace as well from Luminosity on their T side, going slowly, taking up to a minute to clear all the areas because of what you said. NaVi pushing forward on the CT
here,
side.
by the way.
And then just switching things around and going fast long when I think it was FNX who caught two players in the back while they were boosted towards toilets.
We should point out as well, because I actually see this comment sort of on a regular basis on Reddit or HLTV or somewhere else, where people say, yeah, it was like a good flick, it was a good shot, but we've seen something like that before. You have to put
you've
into
seen
the...
Shroud do it in a matchmaking game.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it was bewildering.
Exactly. You have to put into this, sort of when you look at these things, you have to put into it that we're talking about overtime in a semi-finals of a huge tournament. You're playing on a stage and you've been playing everybody for a long time. Like, you factor all these things in. Doing this is so hard. It's so hard not to screw it up.
And think of the risk that went into some of those boosts, not just to show them where they've never done it before, but three-man boosts also means that there's a huge... Imagine someone peaks long at the exact second they're setting up that first one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. It's just like a really big risk. But to me, what's incredible is that like Fallen is kind of hitting that level of JW and Kenny, where it's just like you watch and they land the first shot. And let's be clear, he did hit 3 shots there, because obviously there's the no scope from the man coming up for the flank. There's then the flick, but the shot
and
before
the
that,
kill.
he might have actually got but he might have actually got somebody before that because he actually lines up the shot and it just drags into the wall. So he clips the wall, but he hit that shot too. So I mean, Fallen gets into this weird state of mind where it's just like everything hits, and then he just wins the round, and it's just mind-blowing.
I mean, that second shot was clearly like good awareness. He knew where the bomb was planted. He just pops out, go boom, he just pre-fires it almost with his motion.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I mean, absolutely nailed it. That was insane, guys. I don't want to cut away from this too soon, so please, if there's any more points, feel free to dig in, but we do need to move on.
I mean,
okay.
We have to point out Flamey, right? I mean, as you said, almost a 40 bomb, had an amazing game. It's not just that, an ace in a pistol round. That clutch round for second overtime against Cold Zera with the flick headshot, in a 1v1 and so on. So many important rounds for his team. On the other hand, also Guardian has played a bit better, but still not still not at the level we're used to. You saw that one round when Luminosity was going for a smoke A strat. He jumps on the box in the A side, but misses his first flick. That's something Guardian usually hits.
I mean, there's an interesting sort of clash almost of generations as well. You see Flamey, very young player, Fallen been playing for a lot longer, and just sort of, this is a theory that's always been around for a long time in esports. People say, well, as you get older, probably you won't be able to play at the same level. Probably you're going to be a little bit slower, or your reaction time will be less. And obviously, there are lots of people out there who defy that. So I don't know. It's mad to see these people play each other.
There's I wish we could actually bring up the Flamey clutch, because there was something. It also speaks to just how far these guys have traveled. Both of these players, right? Cold, this young up and coming player, hugely explosive, just came in and just started dominating the best in the world. It almost like out of nowhere. And Flamey, he's always been like the point man along with Guardian for NaVi, right? But they're still both very young and they're still learning a lot. But like just the mind game's already in play, where Cold like fakes running to bank and then walks back up to CT. But then at the same time, Flamey's putting himself into a position where he's just trusting in his aim. Well, this is the pistol ace, which is ungodly as well. But like, it's just like already that these guys are able to get that kind of mind game going between them in a 1v1 clutch, ultra high pressure situation.
And also, when you're talking about young players, I feel that we also have to point out Taco.
Yes.
Because towards the end of that second half, when Luminosity was on the T side, he had a couple of great kills along with Fallen. They were the two carrying their team. And also in that round towards the B bomb site, when I think it was a 3v4 for Luminosity, or even a 3v5 with the bomb planted, he got 2 amazing kills from water, which, of course, you have to talk about these rounds, because in a game that ends in overtime, those small things could have changed the course of the game.
One mistake changes the whole game when it's every single round counts. I mean, look, we can go into it again. Good to point out Taco, who's been very consistent in this tournament. But we have to get ready. That's only map 1, believe it or not, of this best of 3. We have Inferno coming up next, and I guarantee you it's going to be every bit as good. But before we do get there, OJ, my God, I don't know how you're feeling right now, but we're all a little bit erotic up here after that game.
Just talking to you makes me feel like that, my favorite Canadian.